Yourself? Nope, that's
What's going on, everybody? We are doing it live. We are doing it live. I mean, we're so live that there's somebody at the store buying beverages, buying adult beverages. But anyway, we are doing it live.
I'll leave it.
Lady enjoy. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. We should ask the clerk what's going on. Do she
tell us?
like
Tell me
games? She want to talk about? Yeah, why don't you just give her a shout out? Yeah, a little family, do something like that. Whatever, man. We doing it that live. So anyway, welcome everybody to GRG episode 77 is in here. We doing it. We here. Man, we're going to go because we are deep tonight, but that's all right. We're going to keep it flowing. We're going to keep it moving. So let's start off with one of the matriarchs, and that is Lady Infamous. What's going on with you? How was your trip last week?
What trip? I didn't go nowhere.
I thought you went to that one place, TwitchCon or whatever.
No, that was next week.
Next
week. Hello, everyone. This is me, Lady Infamous 415, Grown Women Gaming, IntermediateGamer.com, and let's get to these topics.
All right, yeah, let's get to it. All right, next week going to Delilah HD. What's going on with you?
What's up? Glad to be here. Finally, you guys can actually hear me.
Yeah,
my voice is trying to come back. So yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Hallelujah, holla back.
Yes, sure. Facts.
Voice is normal. That's all right.
I would say normal, but it's close.
It's close. It's not like it was a couple of weeks ago because that was. I felt bad.
Yeah, that was rough. Sounded like.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, man, I couldn't even listen back at the show. I just was like, man, I can't even finish the show listening at my voice like that. So sorry about that. Thank you for rocking out with us, everybody.
No, you're a trooper. You're a trooper. No doubt about it.
That's how you know you got a code when you could barely hear the person when they whisper. It was like, and then they talk. Like you was straining for that talk. I was like, yo, she about to lose. Like, you about to pop a blood vessel trying to fight soldier.
Yep, no doubt about it. Then we
you guys should have saw me trying to do a presentation at work. It's like, yeah, just go home. Just go home.
Oh, they said let it go.
We can reschedule. Just go home.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, man. Welcome everybody to the chat. What's going on with your Butcher Van? What's happening with you, man? We're gonna have to play some more of that Forza. It's probably sometime this weekend. But anyway, man, let's get on. What away Dragons? What's been going on, brother? What's been happening?
Life is good. Ready to tackle these topics. Welcome everybody. We're going to have a good show for y'all.
Oh man, that's it. I mean, you sounded pretty. Are you sick?
I'm still sick. Delilah gave it to me.
I'm sorry, man.
That's what happens. On the keyboard.
You passed it.
Red eyes.
So not only there's eye herpes out there being passed on, there's like this cold going through the internet. So man, just watch out, people. Make sure that you spray some Lysol on your keyboard, on your mics. Anyway, let's get on. Kaleidoscope. I was hearing you in the store. You know what I'm saying, buying that adult beverage. What's going on with you? What did you get, man?
I got some Rolling Rock.
Okay, all right. 6 point.
Yep.
All right.
Get lit a little bit, man.
They do it big in Wisconsin. You know what? Finally, Oklahoma's doing it. Oklahoma's finally got that 6 point. We finally got to step up in the age. We ain't in the 1800s and shit.
I can't front though, man. It's cold out here, bro.
Is it cold?
It's so damn cold that fucking the spiders got fur. All right, so you can imagine.
Yeah, well, all right. So welcome to Wisconsin. All right. All right, we moving on, man. Triple Cup Chuck, what's going on with you, bro? Are you cold? Are you good out there?
Man, it's like about 80 degrees and I'm freezing my ass off, man. I'm telling you.
That boy say 80 degrees and freezing.
Man, I don't know.
How you freezing though? It's 80 degrees.
He says he's cooler than a polar bear's toenails.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
White people get butt naked in 60, man. What are you talking about?
Man, I ain't white, first of all.
Wow. Where did that come from? Never mind. I'm not going to answer.
So left.
That was just so left.
Weird.
Go ahead.
Hey, weirdo.
Listen, you gotta, if you go to school, you know.
I ain't the first, but I ain't the football.
I mean, he ain't lying
though. What is that?
That's
Collider.
Oh, I'm like, yo.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Yo, my bad. That was Wisconsin.
Hey, mute your mic, bro.
Yeah, that mute button.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Go ahead, Chuck. Finish up.
Oh no, I said, man, this Chuck, I just went too far left. I went up and it went around. The earth must be flat. Let's go.
Oh, snap. Okay. All right. Then we moving on. We got, man, might as well go to Live Wire, man. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying, man? What's going on, man?
No, you know, man, I got finished talking to Kanye. I just, sit down and tell him, like, bro, you even a little bit too wild for me. So, you know,
you was looking at him. You was looking at him kind of crazy out there on that little meeting, man.
Yeah, you know, look, man, even certain things I wouldn't say. Like Superman kick, oh, that's crazy.
Hey, man, father figure. You're a father figure. Now everybody looks up to the live Donald. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on.
Yeah, you know.
All right, cool. All right. And then last but not least, man, 100. What's going on with you, bro? Oh, wow.
Oh, damn, he took it now.
I'm already gonna see what kind of show this is tonight.
Well, he said he was gonna be out for the first 4 questions.
Hey,
he did.
We can't hear you, but we can see you. We can see you.
My bad, I hit the wrong button.
Yo, listen, man.
I had y'all look at the ceiling.
Okay.
No, I'm in here.
Don't be one of those
chilling out
in your drawers or something on camera, bro.
Hey man, let him finish. Let him finish live, man. Come on, y'all tripping.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't never get no break, but I'm just in here chilling out, hanging out. GRG podcast. Y'all get ready to get entertained, get hyped. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go share the link. Go hit that dislike button and all that other stuff.
When the hell is the Gaming Night to the Round Table podcast, bro? I never know.
It's Sunday nights. I might move it to Monday, no later than Mondays, because it depends what everybody doing, you know?
All right. No, I'm good on Sunday.
All right, cool. So let's get on. Let's get on to it because we got some stuff to talk about, man. But anyway, let's before we get started on the topics, man, let's get straight up on talking about our winner. Our Patreon, you know what I'm saying? Our Patreon is still going, man. We got a few people that's still on there. So if you want to join the GRG Patreon, it'd be greatly appreciated because of this reason right here, man, we give away. So I'm going to select a winner for Soul Calibur 6. And then again, at the end of the show, we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick a winner for next week. Or should I wait till next week to do the Red Dead? I'll probably just wait till next week to do the Red Dead. Yeah. Let's go ahead and just do that. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and pick the winner right now. Just get this out the way. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. Let me go ahead and hit this little camera. Boom. All right.
Bootlegging this.
Straight ghetto.
Look at that. Boom.
You gotta talk.
Boom. Here we go.
Yeah, you gotta talk. Otherwise, you gotta. Yeah.
Here we go. There we go. Who won it?
What name?
Primal Data. Boy, he's over here. He's making big money, boy. He's making big money off of us, boy. Big money off of us. That's what I'm talking about, man. You get that Soul Calibur 6, man. We got you tonight. So anyway, man, let's get on to these topics. Get straight to it. First off, let's talk about there was this crazy little article, man. It was basically, it kind of made me sad, right? Because they were saying that two more magazines have just been taken off the shelf, and they're closing their doors. And so it's, you know, I mean, you go and you still have the Game Informers, and you still have a couple of more out there, but it seems like that these paperback magazines are falling at the wayside. So I'm going to start off with you, Delilah. Is it just progression of just technology and how other people are just going out there, or is there still some relevance with paperback magazines? Well, I mean, it's
just like newspapers, anything. I mean, people are on their phones, people are on tablets. It is a progression of technology. Nobody's buying magazines or reading magazines like that unless it's something they really want to see. Whether it's talking about a CEO or something super exclusive. It's like the only time you see people trying to cop a magazine. Gaming magazines, I mean, you just get news faster on your cell phone, news faster on Twitter. So I mean, I think it's just remnants of that. So
you don't think that anybody could just, that there's not a lot of people out there that still likes to just get their magazine through the mail, sit back.
I mean, I used to, and then I got tired of getting them. Like I got tired of keeping up with them, collecting them, and stuff like that. I had enough. So I mean, even I got and I'm a huge gamer fan, and I got tired of them. So I don't know, man. I mean, I guess you have some traditionalists out there that still want to get magazines, but I can only speak from my own personal belief behind it. And I just think technology has moved us forward, and it's going to be just like that with any other new technology, whether it's streaming, whether it's anything else out there. These things happen. People no longer really get newspapers, so I mean, this is just kind of the same thing. Just like how people are dropping cable in favor of like streaming services like Hulu and Netflix. I mean, this is what happens when things move forward. It is what it is. Either you can get with the times or you can. This is unfortunate because people are gonna be losing their jobs, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that part is true. That part is true. So what about you, Infamous? What is your whole thought process about this whole thing with magazines? I mean, do you even collect magazines or anything?
Not no more, man. Not no more.
Golly, why you so aggressive with it?
Because you know what? I just woke up 20 minutes ago, so you're gonna get a little bit. I'm gonna be a little bit aggressive, okay?
Okay, all right, okay.
When I grew up, one of my favorite things was to go to the restaurant or have lunch. Get somewhere to eat, grab a newspaper. I don't know, but if I hear something in the background,
I'm hearing something in the background. I don't know what it is.
If one of y'all playing, y'all gotta turn that down just a little bit, please. Okay, thank you.
My bad.
Okay,
man, come
on. You slipping tonight? Come on, bro.
Come on now.
Yo, so Caliber's consuming my soul, bro.
Right now. Come on now.
I blame the game.
No, come on now. Like I said,
podcast, man. If you want to get off and play the game, you can definitely do that. But come on, where people can hear it. Go ahead.
I grew up enjoying the newspaper and enjoying the magazines and the variety of different kind of magazines. But like Delilah said, in this day and age, do we really need it? No. And it's happening already with certain radio companies in the same aspect. So to answer your question about can we do anything to save it or help them recover for what? You're just going to waste money and delay the inevitable that that in another probably maybe 10 years, we might not even have newspapers. We might not even have game and print magazines no more. Mm-hmm. Especially when somebody can, especially since all gaming articles are going through the internet right now. What's the point of wasting money on paper? You feel me? I just hope that my thing is I just want the integrity to still be there because I enjoyed reading Game Informer magazines and stuff like that. But it's not the print game, and it goes across all platforms. It ain't gonna be here that long. It's only a matter of time.
Okay, all right. I mean, I agree with you, but I disagree a little bit about newspapers. There are still people out there that still like to have paperback. I mean, not
I understand
so
that. I understand that.
Older people, of course.
I understand with older people, but within the past like 5 years, it's been a decline on newspaper circulations. And we're talking about famous newspapers from different kind of cities. So let's not act like it's not happening already. So as a gaming, if me as a Game Informer, I'm not gonna waste an investment of what you mean, 100 racks on paperback, knowing that I can get more revenue, more traffic if I just do it online. And everybody.
Yeah, they can't.
Colada. Somebody need to mute Colada. I can hear you pressing the buttons, bro.
I hear you pressing the buttons.
Oh, damn. This mic is really good. I'm sorry. My bad.
Mute your mic until you got something to say. Good Lord.
Because when I smoke a blunt, I mute my mic. You know what I'm saying? You could at least mute the game. Thank you.
I am so sorry.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
Like I said, the future is not gonna be paper no more. It's just not cost effective. So, like I said, 5-10 years, especially with gaming publications, unless you like a fan and you see a book that you can like a strategy guide or some sort like that. Other than that, you're not gonna see it. You're not gonna see it anyway. You most likely gonna get your shit off of YouTube or Google,
right?
And yeah. But it's just how technology is.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. What about you, 108 Dragons? What do you think about paperback, man? I mean, is it still has relevance, or is it going away with the dinosaur?
It's done. Everything's it's done. I mean, newspapers are struggling right now. That was the biggest paperback situation out there. But it's done, man. Too many people walking around with this information in their pockets now. So, you know, it's done.
All right. All right, cool. What about you, Livewire? I mean, were you a person that was interested in paperback? And
I mean, I was sure. At one point, I was creating a publication for that was supposed to be paperback, but it's just not cost effective. It costs too much. You know, if you mess up, that shit costs you way too much. Like I can mess some shit up on digital and fix it in seconds. You can't once it's out and you send that shit out for paperback, it's a wrap. It's fucked up forever. Unless you're gonna reprint it, that shit gonna cost you hella bread. So it's like not cost effective, unfortunately. And it's just too easy to access it otherwise. Now, the only thing is this is the thing. I like Game Informer, right? I'd rather read the paperback than their I guess their magazine digitally, because for whatever reason it's just so fucked up digital. I don't know if maybe it's just me. I just feel like it doesn't translate.
Nah, you're right, man.
You're right. Yeah,
lettering is really small too.
I do not like digital.
Like so for me, what they need to do is all they got to do is get somebody to basically translate it how they would make the magazine physical, digital. And once they master that, then they could just move over. But that's what they really need to be looking at. Like, all right, we're not going to make a physical magazine, cool, but how do we make it people that do like how it was physical, but translate that into digital? Because you should be able to get on your computer or your tablet and basically flip through the pages no different than you would if you were in a magazine. It just doesn't work that way. It's just like you got to scroll. I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? Like, what? I should be able to make it big and small. I get that, but like the way it works, it doesn't work at all. Like it should be simple. Like say if we were looking at an article based on I don't know what's the next game that comes out. Call of Duty just came out, right? So they have whatever Call of Duty. Everything should be interactive. So all your videos should be linked to like certain things within the publication. That's great right there. You have an interactive magazine. That's awesome. You know, but they just don't have that right now.
Can I interject on something that's really important?
Go ahead.
You know what's wrong with paperback? By the time it comes out, all that shit that's on the paperback is already on the internet. It's old.
Yep.
True.
Yeah,
that is so true.
I used to live for a magazine. You know, use the bathroom, watch the paper. You know, look at the paper and stuff. But nobody does that no more, because by the time you get that information off the shelf, it's old. That's all it is.
Yeah,
it's a time change.
Well, 108. What they need to do is figure out a way around that. Like because
they got to ship, they got to distribute.
No. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is they got to figure a way around. Like
improving the experience for people who
exactly. Because we already know it's not going to be paper, so don't even worry about that shit. That's just dead.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, but by the time what you were saying before, by the time anything comes out as a magazine, like you can't make a digital magazine and hold it off and then be like, all right, we're going to release it at this time and all the information released already. But what they could do is everything that's under NDA, they can have it work with the different developers and be like, all right, all the NDAs got to end at this end point of each month or something. And then that's the shit that you put out on a specific day for your publication. Something like that. You know?
Yeah. That's a possibility.
That makes sense. What about you, Chuck? What is your thoughts about paperback? Was you one of the people that was getting them Game Informers in the mail?
He's muted.
I mean, I used to get it, but But the thing about it is, I got kind of tired of. I mean, I feel the same way as everybody else. But see, things like that, like you said, need to just go ahead and evolve. They can't stay in the paperback no more because of they need to do like what the comic books doing. Because I could purchase a lot of my comic books online and could read them on my phone, so they could just bring out their format and just kind of restructure and come out with apps. And I think they could be more successful and just working more in that direction and just canceling the paper because it's over with. Ain't no more killing more trees no more. Them days over with. Save the environment.
Okay, save the environment. All right. What about you, Kaleidoscope?
Well, everybody already done said it, man. It's like print media is actually kind of dead already. If you think about it, man, everybody already gets their news early over the internet. You know, by the time it does come out on print, it's already a little too late. You know, I remember waiting a month, you know, just to get that new Game Informer. And by the time Game Informer started arriving and whatnot, I already knew all the shit that was in the magazine.
Right.
With the exception of how they wrote the article, especially when they got the exclusives. So Game Informer, I still give it to them because when they get those exclusives, you know, they really open it up for a lot of people, and you do get a lot of insight as far as game development, you know, and the whole 9 yards. But print media is slowly declining. All right. So it's been happening for years and it's going to continue to happen. I mean, people will still buy print media, but even book sales have gone down. All right. Because people are using their Kindles nowadays. Know what I'm saying? Or they're downloading the books online and reading them digitally. You know, at the same time, save the trees. Shit, why not?
We can't even get digital manuals for these games anymore. I mean, paper manuals. It's like it's built into the game. They don't even take no time out for that. So,
exactly.
Yeah, that is an issue, and I totally agree. 100. Do you want to touch on it? Okay, 100 said he was.
Why are we talking about this and we already know the truth? This stuff is going. This been going down. The LA Times don't really want to deliver to you no more. They'd rather deliver to you on your phone, on the interweb, pay a subscription. They don't. Nobody want to do that anymore. It's done. It's dead. It's done. You know what I'm saying? It's dead. It is done. And people give this. Well, I've been telling people, I'm going to buy this CD. Why would I buy a CD where I can use that same money and get about 5 million tracks, 5 million albums for the same price, and I can stream and skip whatever I want to do for down there, sometimes cheaper than the price of the CD. Everything is digital. You got look at email changed the game. It's just like you got to get with time. You can't get stuck. I get thing about it. The LA Times will throw it on Sundays in my yard, and guess what they do? Get sprinkled water on it. Ran over by the car about 6 times.
Disrespectful. You don't pick up that LA Times.
I ain't reading what I need to go read. I could read the same stuff on my phone. It's so many apps. Like I use News 360. I can read about any news publication for free. I can get my video game news all in one place. I get all this stuff in one place. I can read the article, the same article that's in paperback. Come on, we live on our phones. Why do you think they're making apps where that our phones will tell us to go to bed?
All right. I mean, no, I got
your phone will go. Your phone will go in black and white mode. Like, you know, it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but I'm just.
We live. We're in the digital.
We live with our phones,
we're in the
bro.
digital. We digital now.
Yeah.
I know, but that was.
And everybody don't want to adapt to it. I'm put this way. I work for a law firm.
But are you sad? But are you sad about it though? That's the
hell no, I ain't sad. It's come with the times. What I gotta get sad for? And you know what? This talk about put this way. People losing jobs. No, you ain't gotta lose your job. You just get. You know what I'm saying? They train you in something else that you can do something else.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
You can train in something else. Now you still got people. You still got people like this to print and stuff. They can go print cards. You know what I'm saying? Flyers. Because I can't do it. I've been using publishing for the last 10 years. I'd rather pay somebody to do it.
Yeah.
You still got people like that. People want banners for their businesses and stuff like that. It's not going away. It's just it's migrating, it's changing over, changing to the guard.
People got to look at even when you could tell when things are changing. Just ride like mass transit or public situation. Everybody's neck is bent at the L position. Everybody's on their phone, even old people. It's crazy. So yeah,
But Lemon, you drive buses. Ain't a TV on your bus? Don't MTA show you something? Show you the weather. Show you the New York. This they do that out here in LA. You ride the bus and there's TVs and stuff on.
But they got Wi-Fi
telling you
on
this
our
and
bus
that.
in New York now.
Yeah, I go when my elevator tells me when I go up in the when I do my corporate job, when I go up to the elevator, it's telling me the traffic 405 was jammed today.
Yep,
Just
gas
listen down
on it.
Yeah, it's open. All right, what about you, Knuckles? You know what I'm saying? Just ask you last. I mean,
man, you knew the answer to this question before you thought it would be real.
I mean, do you still got paperback? I mean, do you still get paperback magazines, and do you miss it? What is your thoughts?
I do get them, but honestly, like everyone said, digital is the way things have gone. Like when I get the magazines, I honestly don't even read them, even for like. If it's a special monthly magazine, it's like, hey, this game is going to be the big cover or anything. I'm just like, cool. I'm just going to look up every possible video for the interview because I'm not going to read that. I was like, I'm just going to go watch the digital interviews that y'all just transcribed that from. I hope you realize that. So I end up kind of just collecting them, and they just kind of go into a bin that I have that has like all my Game Informers across years and years, not even counting my old OXM magazines, if anyone remembers getting those.
Oh, he said OXM.
Yeah. Nice.
So they still sell them? They still sell them?
Yes, they do. Look, I'll tell you how far back I was getting them. It was like early, like 2008 in the 360 years when you got
Story
OXM.
time.
And they gave you the demo discs that you could play like arcade games with free achievements.
Yes, the demo discs.
But
I'm done.
Everyone's right, man. Like, while having those paper magazines is great and all because it kind of gives you that old feeling, a lot of these magazines are going out because of the fact that people don't read paper anymore. I mean, even look at Game Informer. Game Informer has their own digital app that you can get the magazine digitally anyway, besides doing all their online digital interviews that you watch through the app or the website ahead of time before the paper even comes out. Magazines just aren't what they used to. And honestly, I think it's about time that we really do kind of cut away from them and kind of let that, industry go. I'm not saying get rid of journalism or any of that. Like there's still going to be need for it in the digital because that's how a lot of people get their information. But physical print really isn't what it used to be.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But yeah, no, that's great points. I mean, I do feel bad about the situation. I don't know. Me personally, I just feel that it should be. There should be a little bit of give and take. I mean, it's just like kind of like how us gamers we talk about with digital gaming and with the hard copies. They should have. If people are still wanting that, if there's a great amount of people that's warranted where people can still keep their jobs, things of that nature, there should be still paperback. But I get everybody's right on the issue. So anyway, let's get on to the next topic. All right, so Dice is over here been doing a great job with what their games look like, and how their games play, but Dice is having some issues right now, and it's not so much about Battlefield. Battlefield is doing fine. It's about Battlefront 2, and there's more information that's just been brought out and more troubles that's been going on with EA and with this Star Wars license, man. So there's over 40 devs that have left. The people that's been making Star Wars. And now it's due to competition, there's Ubisoft, Epic, they've been needing more devs, things of that nature. But they're also it's just that they're disgruntled. They don't want to be there anymore. They just decided that this was just like kind of like a shit show, and they just don't want to be there. So, Infamous, what is your thoughts on this? I mean, do you think that maybe EA is really in trouble? We asked this a couple of months ago about with Disney and EA and how there could be some issues. But do you really think that Disney might be on the point of just pulling the plug because Star Wars is pretty much failed this time around?
That's their fault. That's their problem. Because first of all, how with the microtransaction for the first Battlefront really put them with a sour taste in everybody's mouth to begin with. So they knew with this game second time around, they have to be on point with it, and they wasn't on point. They still had problems with the microtransaction, and that's all it took. I got the game, you know what I mean, but I didn't even touch the multiplayer yet. I mean, not the multiplayer, the story mode. So,
story is fire. You should have played that first.
Man, I was worried about playing multiplayer with the homies. You know what I mean?
The multiplayer is fun. The multiplayer is fun. But go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. It's just a lesson to be learned here. If you guys gonna make a game, just make sure it's on point, because you only got one chance to impress the consumer audience on what you're trying to sell. And if the consumer audience finds out that there's something within your game that's not going to actually want them to spend their money, then that becomes a problem. People didn't want to spend their money on Battlefront 2, knowing what happened with the microtransaction, because they couldn't fix it off the first one. That's why I didn't get the game first quarter. I waited till that game was $8 before I bought it. So that lets
But lady,
you know.
can I ask you a question? You a question?
No, you can't.
Oh,
shit. What's the question?
Okay. What's the difference between? I know it's about pen. I want y'all to hear it. I'm watching. What's the difference? Like Fortnite has the same thing, and nobody's getting them no funk about it.
Because everybody knows Fortnite is trash.
Fortnite does it. Fortnite trash to me and you, but Fortnite makes money.
Well, that's them. That's them. I bet you what, Lady Infamous ain't fit to spend no money on no Fortnite. I tell you that much.
I ain't saying I'm not saying
it's free to play. Also,
I don't care. I don't care. I don't like the game.
Yeah, but they have microtransactions.
That's
so
fine.
I don't see the big on my thing. I don't see the big thing about this microtransaction issue.
Because you talking about okay.
No, because at the end of the day, it's up to you to go buy it.
All right, 100.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, let me finish what I'm saying.
Yeah, let her finish.
Yeah, let me finish. I swear, y'all just want to be rude when I'm talking. I swear to that.
I think that's bone.
The difference between Fortnite and Star Wars Battlefront 2 is Fortnite is an original game of a battle royale building shit that's free to play that the kids are sucking it up. Battlefront is a Star Wars game. Keyword Star Wars. You got people up in here in this world that love Star Wars. Mm-hmm. You got to impress them motherfuckers before you even impress me. So if them fans are not happy with that game, what makes you think I'm gonna go touch it? So I don't care if it's Fortnite. Like I said, they should have corrected their mistakes within the second game, but no, they wanted to be greedy and did the microtransactions, and they fucked it up. You think there's gonna be a Battlefront 3? Shit, I'm done.
Well, that's the thing, though. Do you think that Disney might pull the plug on EA because of the situations that's been going on?
They can. If they want to. I would. If I was Disney, I would.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
If I was Disney, I would, because they should have got their shit together when they launched that game.
Okay. All right. What about you, HD?
Yeah, I mean, I don't care either way. I mean, I really don't care what happens. It's their fault for, not making enough updates, not keeping people abreast to what's going on with the game, things like that. So I don't care what happens with the game. It could fade into the background. I ain't even played it. I don't care.
Oh shit!
You ain't never played it?
No.
Oh, it's good. The game is dope. I mean, it's a lot better. It's a lot better than.
You gotta think about where I'm coming from, though. I'm not a super Star Warsy fan.
Okay.
I'm not big on that whole thing. So for me, it could not exist, and I'll be okay. You see what I'm saying?
No, I got you. I got you. Okay, so you just think you think Disney should just go ahead and just pull the plug?
Yeah, they need to move on. I mean, I feel like they need to if they're gonna put, they need to invest in someone else to do something with Star Wars, whether it's an RPG or something like that, because the whole shooters and first-person shooters, everybody's doing that now. Every game, is practically either a third-person shooter like Fortnite, first-person shooter like Halo, first-person shooter like Call of Duty. Like, do something new with Star Wars. Star Wars is too big of a franchise, too big of a item for it just to be a shooter. Like, come on now. So,
okay, all right. What about you, Knuckles?
Honestly, these people walking away, it's probably the best choice for them, because one,
Wait. You said 40. I hit the control. You said 40 people left.
Over 40
No,
people. Over
40 confirmed, but it's supposed to be more.
Yeah,
that's definitely internal. That's a problem.
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
a problem going on. Yeah,
and I love DICE. I do respect DICE as a studio, but let's be honest. One of their biggest achievements, while the Battlefield series is still phenomenal, their biggest achievement is what they've done with their engine. That's their big selling point and why EA utilizes them so much. And the devs walking away from DICE know that they're not being used in a way that's going to be beneficial. And for Disney to pull the license on Star Wars away from EA, I guarantee they're going to do it, because here's the thing. Disney is not afraid to pull money out of a project or pull license away from a project if they don't feel it's going to do them any good. Look at what they did with Disney Infinity. Look at what they did with the Marvel Heroes Omega, that top-down dungeon crawler style.
That was messed up. But I feel you.
They are not afraid to pull a license and project away if they feel a company is not doing a good job. Let's take a look at the past 5-6 years that EA's had this license. Every Star Wars project has been canceled. They put out 2 half-assed Battlefront games, and then Star Wars 1313 got canceled, brought back, cut, and then now it's being reworked.
You didn't like Battlefield 2? I mean Battlefront 2.
I enjoyed Battlefront 2. It was a beautiful game. I thought the story was interesting as I played through with the EA Access, but I still didn't feel it's what Battlefront could have been. It honestly just felt Battlefield with a Star Wars skin, and I don't want that. I want it to be fun. I want it to be something Star Wars. Like, the only thing I honestly did with the multiplayer was I honestly did the space battles half the time. That was the only thing that felt cool to me.
Oh, you missed out then. You guys missed out.
I did the conquest mode and everything, but it just didn't feel all that appealing with the way that it handled. And I love Star Wars. Like, there's so many old properties that were uniquely Star Wars that they could have done. Like, if anyone remember from the PS2, that bounty hunter game where you played as Jango Fett, that was cool. They could have easily done that, and that's what originally 1313 was supposed to do. But everyone walking away from DICE and EA, it's for a reason. They can't get their shit together.
Yeah. My question is, where these jokers going? What studios are they going to?
There's more competition
Epic, Ubisoft. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that there's a couple that maybe went to Xbox because of their opening. They gave a list, but then they said they don't know all of the places because it's also competition as well. There's a lot more developers that's needed in other places. And again, if you're a disgruntled employee and you just don't like where you want to go, you can go. There's plenty of options for you right now.
Take your time to South Beach. I get it.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Here's the big thing, though. This is specifically the Swedish team. This is specifically the studio in Stockholm. So it's a lot of the big companies that have studios in Sweden alone.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. What about you, Livewire? What do you think about this, man? I mean, where's your stance on this? And did you even play Battlefront? Oh yeah, you did. I know that you played it with me. Yeah, I know you played that.
Wow.
I mean,
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to say. It could be coincidence. It could be that there's a lot of shit going on that people don't like.
You think 40 plus people is a coincidence? Yeah.
No, well, I'm just like, this is the only thing. I don't know what the time frame is. Is it all in one day or is it like?
Well, I mean, that really doesn't.
In the span of a year.
It's been less than a year.
Yeah.
Right. So it depends, because what happens is you can have a lot of people that come in to a team around the same time and they're just ready to move on. And it depends on how many people already work there. Now, 40 might sound a lot, but it depends on what's the overall amount of people on the team.
They have 400 developers, but there's 40 plus. There's 40 plus that's left, and there's more that's saying that they're going to leave.
All right.
Okay, well, that's 10%. That's.
I mean,
but that's just on that. But I mean,
that's what's been confirmed.
Right, but that's been confirmed, and also you know, you can tell that the teams are split. Some 200 is most likely probably working on Battlefield, and then the other 200 is working on Battlefront.
But the other thing about development for the development, it's not all creative. I think the thing that a lot of people get mixed up with when it comes to video games versus other workplaces is there's way more moving when it comes to development teams for video games than you would for somebody who works in just a regular office job. You know, because once a project's done, if they don't need you, they're not going to keep you. There's a lot of people with temp positions. You know, they just and grab people for what the needs are. You know, they'll give you a heads up and be like, all right, like say they've been doing Star Wars Battlefront. They'll be like, all right, for the next 2 years, we're going to need, 200 people. All right, so they go grab 200 people. But now that series is winding down, so they might be like, all right, you know what, we're about to cut a couple of these devs. So, but we're not going to cut all 200. Maybe we only cut, 100 of them. So that's why you might hear like 40 people left, and then another 40 or 50 might leave later. I mean, that's just part of what it is. Like, I think that's where the disconnect is. It's like a lot of people look at it as like, oh, this is how a workplace is for where I work, so it must be the same as, for, the development team for a video game, and it's just not the case.
Okay. What about you, 108?
I hear a lot of stuff, everybody talking. Let me drop the knowledge on y'all. First of all, the game did not fail financially. It sold over 9 million copies in 3 months. You can't say God of War was successful selling 5 million in the same time frame compared to 9 million in the same time frame. What happened, what's going on at DICE, it started from Battlefield 4. When they put that game out, it didn't work, and they had them developers working around the clock to fix a game that they told the investors was not prepared and not ready to be done. What's killing Star Wars Battlefront ain't gameplay, ain't story, it's loot crate drama. That's what caused the controversy. The game is an excellent game. It's not Battlefield with a goddamn Star Wars skin on it because it doesn't play like Battlefield. It's nothing like that. So if you don't have the experience in the game, you should not be saying those things because this came from the loot crate controversy. Now, these devs left because of the investors dictating what DICE does. Instead of saying, oh, the game is not ready, we're not putting it out. And they're forcing loot crates on them, and it's just a horrific situation. They got these dudes working crazy, and I guess they tired of it. And it started from Battlefield 4, not Star Wars. Now, of course, they want 20 million sales of this game, but 9 million ain't no slouch. Y'all got to be crazy to say that the game did not sell at 9 million in 3 months.
Knowledge.
Okay.
Dropping that facts. Let's go.
I don't think Star Wars do so much everything in there. But hold on. They also updated the game where they unlocked the abilities of the ships and heroes and villains for you to use, because they was locked at first and it was basically pay to win. That's all changed now. Was it too late? Yeah, because the investors tried to make money off a pay to win situation. This ain't Fortnite. This ain't no free to play. This is a console game. This is a console experience, and that's where they fucked up. Not gameplay, not what it feels like. It's none of that. That's what happened. And the devs is tired of it being pushed around by the investors. That's where that came from.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, what about you, Triple Cup Chuck?
I mean, I get what Dragon is saying, but I kind of agree with Bloody. Like, Disney don't mind chopping stuff. Look what they recently did. Let me give some real recent. Iron Fist Season 2 was actually good. Was a success. They still cut it because of the bad press it was getting. That could be a scenario with the whole Star Wars Battlefront is the bad press that it's getting. Of course, it's from the loot boxes. Of course, they're trying to recruit money. We understand the situation, but simply, I just think it's because of Disney do not like nothing bad press around them, period.
That's EA fault. They're not gonna leave 9 million sales on the table.
Oh yeah,
They're not
they
going to
will
leave
because
beyond million sales.
Yeah, but
no,
the
I
bad
just
press,
I disagree with
they ain't worried about
that.
it.
I
They got
disagree with
money.
that.
It's the press they were.
Yeah.
They want to get their image. That's what
Right.
it is. Their
Yeah,
image.
Right.
Disney's about image, but I'm saying let's not get crazy. That game is not garbage. That game is fantastic.
Yeah,
the
I ain't
game
saying
is dope.
That
garbage.
Loot
I'm saying
Crate shit
like
was stupid.
the press it was getting and the bad stigma that was being tied around it, like you were saying with the loot boxes. That is what I was talking about. That's
Right,
killed
that's
the game.
EA doing that. That's EA and them investors, man. And them devs are sick of it. They said, you don't remember that big article that came out after? Remember, they released battle. Oh my god. Oh god, what's the name of this damn game? The modern
Hardline?
No, after Hardline, Battlefield 4. They released Battlefield 4 under pressure, and it was not finished. They didn't even finish it on. Remember, it wasn't finished in last generation, and they forced it out for PS3, PS4, and Xbox One.
But Battlefield 4 suffered. The one thing about it is that the diehard Battlefield fans kept that game going, and the fact that Hardline was such a disappointment for so many people that's what gave Battlefield 4 longer life than normal, because the launch of Hardline was horrible, and it did look like a paste skin.
It was a debacle, man. But
Hardline really fixed that shit together, and it's dope now. I love Hardline.
Yeah, anyway. They've been going at it since then. And then DICE also put out, we will never put out a game that's incomplete again. We don't care what the investors say. Right. So they had beef from back then. People got to remember that, man. So it may look like, oh, it's a Star Wars thing. It's really not. They've been having drama since 2012.
Yeah. So okay, go ahead, finish, Chuck.
That was pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Kaleidoscope, what's your thoughts? Well, he's drinking this 6 point. All right. 100. You want to touch on this?
I don't know why it's so big of a deal. If people want to move on, they want to move on.
All I asked you is, did you want to touch on this?
Yes, I just asked her. I said, no. I said, it's a big deal. I'm touching on it. I said, I don't know how it's a big deal. That's all I said. Damn. You know what?
Yeah, I mean, you said Mr. Negative.
I am Mr. Negative. Call me Mr. Negative. I go to a different point. But at the end of the day is, they moved on. They didn't get laid off. They didn't get fired. They decided to move on. They had a contract. They probably got a buyout and sit there, or got a contract they can opt out and want to go do other things. You know, like 108 said. You know what I'm saying? The game sold well. It looks beautiful. I can't stand the multiplayer. Plays like shit. Apologize my French. I love the story. Might go back and play it. I love the DLC story and everything. But at the end of the day is, I did play that game.
We need to go back and play it.
I went back to. I ain't got time. I got Soul Calibur and I got over all these guys. I got
time. Get your head beat in a Soul Calibur?
Oh shit!
Hey, one other thing I didn't want to say about
all right. Go ahead.
Like I get motion sickness when I play some first-person shooters, and the Star Wars Battlefront 2 is one of the ones that can actually get you motion sickness once you get to get about good 30 minutes to an hour in. So you got to. So for the people that get motion sickness, I would just want to let let them know, like, if y'all try it out, you got to do it in moderation.
And to me, that game was tailored towards the casual gamer, just like Spider-Man was, because you already got people that just love Spider-Man. You got people that love Star Wars going to buy it just put it on their mantle, say they have it. You know what I'm saying? So we think too. I think as gamers, so much we think too much into this stuff sometimes. We try to, you know what I'm saying, put stuff under the microscope where is this something that's simple. You know, microtransactions didn't kill that game. The media killed that game because they had something, they ain't had nothing to report, and they wanted to talk about microtransactions. The media killed that game.
But the
microtransactions, man, we didn't been having microtransactions for years and years and years. All of a sudden, it's a damn problem. No, you get an option. It wasn't no pay no win.
Yeah, it was pay to win.
Man, I bought the game and had 25 crates.
I understand that. I did too. But the thing it was that there was people that had an advantage. That was the only thing. Yeah, by certain weapons, certain characters.
But that game was not. That game does not play competitively.
If it was a,
that's not a competitive. That's not a competitive game.
I get that. But if the game, but you paid $60 for it.
That is to get. Just like I don't consider Fortnite as a competitive game.
That's to you.
You know what I'm saying? PUBG is not a competitive game. And they got loot crates in it. Also, I don't hear nobody.
We talking about cosmetics.
Yeah, we're talking about.
Yeah, but my thing is just because I get just because you get Luke Skywalker before you get it,
that's
not give you an option to pay.
It was a pay to win. It was a pay to win motto.
Ain't nobody playing that damn man. It's for the casual.
In these crates, you can get actual stat boosts that either one, reload your gun faster, give you bigger explosions, or a lot of things.
About loot crates, it was pay to win. People can pay money,
but it's okay. Don't the people have the option to say, you know what? I'm not gonna play it no more. I bought it. They don't force you to do it. Y'all act like this game is at Evo. This is a competitive game. The game ain't competitive. So I don't even know why the big question. That's all I got to say about that.
Right? Here's the biggest issue. You cannot choose to purchase those loot boxes in those games, especially this one particularly. However, you being able to get more cards was based originally on how many cards you have. So the more money you spent to get more cards, the more cards you could use at one time. That is the definition of pay to win.
Yeah, it was pay to win. That's why they got ridiculed. And
how many in the chat? I can't see the chat. How many in the chat y'all still playing that game? About 5, 6. I don't even know why that's the big thing.
That's the whole thing. Like a pay to win. I look at it as if you don't pay money, do it hinder you? Like, can I still beat the game if I don't play?
No, but it was a grinding. It was so much.
It's not a competitive multiplayer shooter. That's all I'm saying.
Everything multiplayer is competitive. Everything multiplayer.
It still ain't. They opened everything up now, and it still ain't competitive multiplayer. Everything is everything. They opened everything up, and it still plays the same.
No, Bone, you can miss me with that, man. You can get competitive on brushing your teeth and what type of deodorant you use. Man, it don't even much matter. Competitive.
It ain't okay. The most people that bought that game, they're not. You know what I'm saying? Play it for about 5, play it between 30. No more than an hour. Gonna play something else. Let's keep it a buck.
I mean, just because you don't take it serious, they got people that take shit like that.
Ain't nobody take it. What somebody on your? We got millions of friends. How many people on your friend list play that competitive? I only know one. Chaos. And he don't play it no more.
But hey, Smash Brothers, people play that competitive. Now think about it like that. So you know.
But that's not. There has no loot boxes in it. Has no loot boxes. The media killed it because they mentioned the loot boxes.
Okay. All right.
First of all, you got a game like Overwatch has all cosmetics. Nobody complains because it's cosmetic loot boxes. But if you could buy a better weapon than somebody else, they would be complaining in that too. But it's cosmetics. It's what your character look like. They don't care. That's the problem. You can't say because you're not into something that's not competitive, because Star Wars, anything multiplayer versus is a competitive game. You can't determine something's not competitive because you don't like it. You just said Fortnite is not competitive. That's one of the most watched games on Twitch because people want to see the competitive nature of the game.
Same with PUBG.
Facts. You're bugging.
Yeah, so I mean, but it's his opinion. He can say what he wants.
I mean, true, but that don't make it not competitive. Multiplayer is competitive, game mega. You can play Pac-Man and be competitive.
I understand that, but I mean, look, there are people that may have
League too.
But there are people that may have 100 star process on the situation. I mean, me personally, I look at it from a different standpoint. But look, it just needs to be respected, man. Let's just move on to the next topic. I mean, real talk. So, all right, let's get on to this whole thing right here, right? So, I wanted to also add a little spice to this because, of course, I guess that there's people that's put out videos of something that I posted earlier yesterday or whatever. But regardless of that, this whole delay with Days Gone, and I posted something that was basically just asking the question, like, look, I mean, we have this will the same people that these fanboys that has this whole energy about Crackdown 3 and how it's and how it's being delayed, and rightfully so. I'm not. If you're not hyped about Crackdown 3, or if you are, regardless, the game should have been scrutinized for as many times it's been delayed. But now we find out that Days Gone has been delayed yet again. And this game is being delayed quite a bit as well. I mean, we even had Eurogamer go to a point of saying that the game should be delayed because it looks that bad. That was just something that was brought up from Eurogamer this year. So again, is it a smart strategy for PlayStation to have Days Gone, or the developers to have Days Gone be delayed? And should it be scrutinized just like Crackdown 3 is? I'm going to go straight to the ladies. I'm going straight to you, Delilah. What do you think about that?
I think them delaying it is good. I mean, if the game is not done, it's not done. Plain and simple. I mean, they're not gonna. At this point, I mean, you're losing money because you're moving it back 2 months. But at the same time, if you look at the games that were coming out in February, I mean, that was kind of a crowded month and a crowded date. So it may work out to their strength to move the game back. Because usually in these kind of situations, a couple months in development time doesn't really add that significant amount of difference to a game. The core of the game is done. I think the 2 months pushback was probably for marketing and to kind of help with the game in regards to like other little kind of smaller bugs and things like that. Because to me, if you're not pushing the game back a year, how much more has been added to the game in a couple months? To me, this is a marketing strategy more than anything else.
Okay. I mean, now what about the energy though? Because Crackdown 3 has been scrutinized heavily for its delays, and so
I don't care. Listen, I don't get too sad about fanboys talking about Crackdown 3 delays versus a Days Gone delay. I don't care. It is what it is. I look at it from an industry standpoint. Now, I just want the game to be good. If the game's good, I'll play it.
Right. So you don't really care about how long the game is delayed.
No.
And are you
hyped? Game, game.
Right. True.
I have no hype for the game.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I can't really call it hype. I definitely want to see, the story on it because the story looks kind of cool. But outside of that, I'm not like super. I gotta buy this game day one. When it dropped. I don't feel that for this game. I mean, it never captured me in that kind of way. Now the zombie mechanics and all the enemies on screen on the screen looks good, looks cool and stuff like that. But it's not like it's something that I hadn't seen before. So to me, the only thing that I would want to see here is the story. But outside of fanboy talking points, I hope the game comes out great so I can try it out.
All right, cool. All right, what about you, Infamous? I mean, is this a game that you would have been interested in Days Gone? What about the whole difference between games being delayed? I mean, if you were hyped for Days Gone, is it kind of lost its luster because of the delays? Where are you at on this?
To me, lightweight a little bit for me, like the little excitement, because I wanted this was one of the games that I wanted to play, and that's fine. But it's not just Days Gone, Crackdown 2. When you add
3,
I'm sorry.
3.
I'm sorry. 3.
It's okay.
With those games, if it just get delayed, that's their business. I'm not gonna be like holding my breath. If you trying to hold your breath off these games that getting delayed, then you ain't gonna breathe for real, Jack. Red Dead 2 has been delayed hella much, and that's I waited for that. I didn't have no problem with that. With the fanboyism, I want to say it's the same shit. It's the same shit, Facts. Different day. People, I see some Xbox fanboyism because of the delayation of Day Gone. They need to stop that, just as well as PlayStation fanboys need to stop dogging Crackdown 3 for their delays. Y'all got to respect the fact that these are multi-million-dollar projects, and you got hundreds of people working their ass off to get these games how they want it to be. Y'all got to let them work. And it's some of y'all people think like they working for y'all, like particularly me, like Crackdown Squad is working for me. No, they got to make sure the game is right, because if the game is not right, guess who won't they pick it? all of us, and that goes with Days Gone, that goes with Crackdown 3. Now, and I just, like I said, man, I've been in the game long enough to know when a game gets delayed or a game gets pushed back, who gonna say what about what game on what system. I already know. It's on my feed. I'm like, yep, this chick said this about this game. It don't faze me. As long as I'm excited about the game, I can be patient for the delays. Now, it ain't gonna be like Death Stranding, because that shit, I don't know what that game about. And that shit's delayed for hella long. At least with Crackdown 3 and Days Gone, you have some kind of foundation of the story based on what Crackdown did before, based on what Days Gone is gonna do. But like I said, I'm not tripping. I'm not holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath at all. And some of y'all people that be extra sensitive about these games really need to stop. That's it. It's like people do nothing but just sit and talk shit about games all day. They don't pay bills. They don't wash their ass. They don't get laid.
Oh damn! Oh wow! Come on, man.
What you mean?
No, I mean,
you asked me how I feel about the static about people in these games being delayed. So I'm telling you, it's just like
they don't wash their ass though.
Hey, it be motherfuckers that don't wash their ass.
I think she might be right. I think she might be right.
No, I'm just saying. People who are genuinely excited about these games, they're gonna sit and wait. They're not gonna care what anybody thinks. Well, my issue is just because people want to nitpick on what Sony and what Microsoft is doing with these games, that's my problem. Not really the delay of the game, because people got to do what they got to do now. If your game is trash and your game got delayed a few times, that's nothing but your fault. My problem is motherfuckers want to say, oh, Crackdown got delayed. Y'all game must be trash. And then when Days Gone get delayed, oh, it's okay. It's all right. Let them slide. No, they should get the same treatment just like they do at Crackdown.
That is the whole point of why I tweeted that, and that's what I wanted to hear. Is like is there a double standard going on? Because if a game is delayed, it's delayed. It shouldn't matter either way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you want to scrutinize it, you should scrutinize it. If you're one of those people that say, "Hey, look, man, delays are good for progress," and that should be a positive thing. You're absolutely right. Are you done, or you want me to? Can I move on to somebody else?
I'm finished.
Good deal. All right. What about you, 108 Dragons? What is your thoughts about this, man? I mean, should the energy be the same if a game is delayed, or are you hyped for both games? Are you not hyped for either? Where are you at on Days Gone?
Well, I'm hyped for Days Gone. I know, I buy my PlayStation games for first party experience and a single player experience. So I'm hyped for the game. Don't release the goddamn game if it ain't done, because then you're gonna get all the backlash like the Battlefield 4s and all these other games that get released with all the problems and the patches. And listen, multi-million-dollar situation. They shouldn't be playing with, let me get it out the door, get this money fast.
Yeah, Delilah did break that down in perspective for talking about how much money that is involved into these games.
It's people out here that think, oh, they should just put it out. So what? So when it comes out, like that's a new IP. You got one time to captivate that audience. If that game don't come out, proper, it won't be no sequels. So put the game out when it's ready. You want the developer's vision or what he wanted to put out as a finished product. Don't rush out and get my $65. Do the right thing. Delay the game. Just make it work, man. Because like Infamous said, we gonna be the one beefing after we spend our money because we wanted them to put it out not ready. We gonna be in all the forums and all these YouTube channels complaining that this game is garbage and not complete. So have patience, man. And for the fanboyism, y'all stupid for saying, "Oh, this game got delayed for you." Weirdos. Y'all weird, man.
Oh, they're weird.
You're weird.
This is my thing right here. This is when you on that tinky winky. If you're one of those dudes that pay attention to everything that a other man does, but then have the audacity to call him an homophobic name, explicit. Yeah. I mean,
I'm
you
talking about
are
any console, Xbox.
No. The same
Split.
thing. If an
Board.
Xbox dude is out there paying attention to what PlayStation do, if they out there listening to Porter Rock and listen to that spin and that bullshit, and you get upset about it, that's on you. You the fool for getting that. I keep it moving. Jacket. That's how all of you guys should be the same way. There should be no. I laugh when people say, "You better get that L." What?
Oh, Mega, let's not name drop out here. We better than that.
No. I'm not talking about. You got fans. I'm not name dropping like that in a disrespectful way. I'm saying if you're one of those fanboys out there that listens to somebody that listens to, like I just brought Porter Rock's name, not in a nigga like, and you want to hear what his spin is, and you don't like it, but you want to go back to 2 or 3 years to what that dude said, or anybody, what I've said, or what anybody on this panel said, or anybody. And you have that much, then that's a problem, man. You do need help. Maybe Infamous might be right. It's not that different.
That's obsessive, man. That's being
too successive. That's too excessive. I don't care that much about it. What about
last week? This won't be a topic. I mean, you're worrying about what fanboys say about a game versus a delay of a different game, like. This wouldn't even be part of the conversation.
The people care. This is a thing. Look, if I really cared about what somebody said, I would have brought up the topic about the whole situation about the daddy home. That's hilarious. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that. If I cared like that, I would have made a point about that. I would have made that a topic, and it's irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? That I don't care. I really don't.
Hey man, if you into dating sims, you want to play that game, you do you. That's it. That's all it is.
It is what it is.
Okay, Mega Boy, what had happened?
What are you talking about?
No, there was an announcement for a dating sim called Dream Daddy, which is a dad dating sim, and everyone lost their shit about it because someone it's like, okay,
it's fine. They cater to their fan base.
Exactly.
Right. And there's a fan base out there. There's ladies out there, and maybe some gentlemen who care. that likes
too.
Well, no. What I'm saying is this: is that they gave this.
No, but dating sims themselves are all over the place, man. There's an audience for them.
Right. And if I wanted to, and if I cared.
Okay, maybe you're going left. Y'all going left.
All right.
I don't even know.
All right, Z Black Rider, we're cutting you off right there. Stop it.
What you say? What did you say? All right. Let's go.
Z Black said daddies need love too.
Oh, well, you're right. I'm a daddy. Shit.
No.
I need love too. So anyway,
tell that to your wife, man.
Live wire. What is your thoughts about this? Were you hyped with Days Gone? What do you think about the delay? I mean, to me, it's kind of tied in with Crackdown because people had the same energy about it. I just want your perspective on it.
Look, man, wasn't ready, so they need more time. I'm assuming that's what it is.
Y'all pay attention. 2 months is nothing. When it comes to game delay.
Yeah, it's really not. They probably didn't want to fight those.
That's a marketing delay.
Right.
When you talk about 2 months, that's a marketing delay.
I got some thoughts on that.
If you're delaying a game to next year, that's a development delay. 2 months is them moving out of a window that's crowded.
A crowded window.
Yeah, I feel that that's probably accurate. I feel that
2 months. I mean, and it's as far as the fanboy talking point too. It's not like they delayed this game to 2019. You get what I'm saying? This is just a 2 month delay, so there's really no talking point. Now this is what I don't get. Right. Like there's really no competition of saying, oh, this is just like Crackdown, or oh, this is just. There's nothing. There's really nothing to say there because it's purely a marketing delay. Maybe. I mean, go ahead.
But what about the last delay for Crackdown that moved a week?
Same thing. They don't.
I'm just saying.
Listen, people don't. I mean, February 22nd is crowded. So they're moving out of it. I mean, don't nobody want to compete with Anthem? You don't even know what Anthem is yet. Like, what kind of roster is gonna?
I already bought.
Yeah, I already got that.
But that's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point I'm trying to make.
And that's what I was about to get to when I come up, Delilah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah. But okay, but No. What 108? Did you need to finish?
No. I'm just saying Delilah's 100% right. We looking
Right.
like I know people. It's a subject because people talk about it, but you know these fanboys are weird, man. I don't understand them. Like they look for anything to say, like fuel for the fire. If another game gets delayed on a console that you don't play, why do you care? I don't understand that.
But it's the fuel. You know, like I did a live thing today. I said I'll be a hypocrite if I talk about Days Gone when Crackdown got delayed.
Right.
Why would I talk about Days Gone? I'll be a straight up hypocrite. It's a bunch of hypocrite. I don't know if this is a real word. I'm making it up. Hypocriticism.
Hypocritical people.
Hypocriticism. I'm gonna make a new word up.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a lot of that. Yeah. It's a lot of that stuff going on. You can't throw shades at one. I can't throw rocks at your, you know what I'm saying, at your house. You know what I'm saying? You can't throw rocks at mine. That's how they try to use it. But no, this is different. Just because the game got delayed, I don't care. It shouldn't bother you. You know what I'm saying? Don't you want the best product? How many times movies been delayed?
That's it, right?
You want the best.
Right.
People. What I don't get is people. You should want the other development publisher to compete. Like you should want the best from everybody
because they don't own that system.
You know, it's like they don't want Microsoft to acquire studios because they might make them better, or they felt their favorite developer might get bought up by Microsoft. You should want that. You should want them to compete. Like Microsoft got the money to put the funding behind these teams. They can make a great product. You should want them to be like, oh dang, now this company that I love can now feed their families. They can now focus on what they love to do and probably make the best game they can make. But no, you want to make a hate video because oh, this is not my favorite platform, and instead of you saying, okay, well, you know what, I'm gonna support this game. It's gonna come to PC anyway, because every Xbox game go to PC. So if you got this super duper power rig you supposedly have, then you should want to support the game.
Don't do that to him.
No, don't do it. Everybody missed what Delilah said. The key word in that, what she said was supposedly.
I know. I'm just saying, don't do that. Don't do that to him because we know that there's a lot of.
I don't get and I was so glad that Rand kind of touched on it this past week about the hate towards anything that Microsoft does, anything that's happening right now in the industry as regards it's them trying to improve themselves for this industry. This signals to the industry that they want to stay with it and that they want to invest in it. So I don't get why. They want to bring up something to try to bring that down, or to say, "Oh, we don't want them to do that." They got a good track record with this.
They need to try that dating app.
Instead of them realizing that, okay, Microsoft didn't have a good track record with previous developers. Some of them, at least, we all know about. Wait, I'm just gonna go on a rant real quick because I'm sick. I'm tired. I'm frustrated.
Let's get a Delilah rant.
No, I'm just saying, like, you should. I understand that there's they got people in new positions there that's making these type of decisions. The CEO is promoting these type of decisions for the first time in like ever. People always putting Xbox on the back burner, if you will, talking about selling it off, and other people talking about it's going to be into a different thing. And so for them to finally be investing, you should be, as a gamer, you should be excited. You should be like, oh man, these jokers putting billions, not millions, billions into gaming. You know what I mean? Because look, to fund one development studio, that's about 250 million. You know what I mean? Think about that for a second. Not only did they acquire more than one, it's like 3 or 4, maybe 5, maybe 6. We don't know. So they put over $1 billion in gaming. You should be excited as a gamer, regardless of whether it's your favorite platform or not.
But Delight, you ain't even talk about expense costs and all this and all the time and all that.
That's just
everybody don't work on salaries.
But see, that's the biggest expense though. The biggest expense is salary. So I mean, you think about 5 studios. Let's say 5 studios, 250 people per studio. Come on, man. Let's be real.
And then they bought some of them got brand new buildings, brand new studios.
Yep.
But no one mentions that.
They're not ready.
Like they're trying to be like, okay, you come over here.
Competition is the best thing that can happen to any industry. This is why we don't have anything other than Madden. You see what I'm saying? Because there's no competition. Like I don't understand why people would want or a certain like Microsoft to fail or for Nintendo to fail. You know what I mean? Like when Sega went down, like I was torn apart about that. I'm like, Sega, like. You mean to tell me they're not making consoles anymore? Like I was shook. I'm like, what's happening to the industry to where people are no longer supporting these consoles, but that was all back then. But I just I don't get it. I can't wrap my head around it. I guess I'm just too older, and I just not able to understand what's going on and why people want to throw the hate around and call people out their name. I don't even call everything under the sun.
They ain't get no ass, man.
No
buns.
Hey, they didn't do it.
With Delilah, you gotta kind of take that sometimes. Take that like a badge of honor. Like, you know what? When you speak, they listen.
Like I got into a strong debate with someone regarding the fact that Microsoft, they had studios in the past. What happened to Lionhead? What happened to this? What happened to that? I was like, man, new regime. This is new. This is new people at the top that's making decisions. Never have they had an Xbox head at the seat with the CEO. Never. Right. This is the first time ever them having.
Can I just give a shout out to Tip Diamond for the $2 donation?
Yes, thank you, Tip. Yeah, appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Sorry, Delilah.
Tip, I need about like $1 of it. Tip, I'm broke. I'm $1 near.
Oh man.
No, but with Delilah, ask this question. You work in a corporate world, right? Right? If something don't work, what they do?
They let it go.
They get rid of it.
Right.
Yes.
Change.
They get rid of it. It's like it's not financial.
People think Xbox isn't making money. They would been gave up a long time ago. Microsoft is in the business of making money.
Whoa, hold on. Delilah in 108. This is the thing right here that these people will tell you, because I've said this too when I post something on Twitter or whatever, of that. Why are you worried about Microsoft's pockets?
Because I want to make
sure why you worry about Sony's pockets. That's why.
Hang on, but don't they always throw out numbers?
The answer for me, the answer
I'm gonna be quiet.
I care about the industry. I care about the industry, so I care about all their pockets. I want the industry to be strong and healthy and competitive.
Most of the time, somebody answer about Microsoft pockets is when you hear dumbasses say they're gonna sell Microsoft off,
right?
And then you bring up the money they make. Oh, why'd you bringing that up? Because what you're saying is stupid.
Xbox is making more than Windows. You can let that sink in. Every piece, Windows still have majority of the.
Let I have a moment.
Majority of the PC market, and Xbox is bigger than Windows. That should really tell you everything you need to know right there regarding whether Xbox makes money or not.
Right. It's just like everything that you said. Also, one thing that I'll include, and if anybody else want to jump in, that's fine. I just wanted to say this, is that you're looking at a game in Crackdown 3 that's trying to attempt something that hasn't been done on consoles in regards to with the multiplayer with the cloud. That's not going to be easy to do, especially with the hardware that they first brought out. And they're trying to make it to where it can be all inclusive into the Xbox One Fat, the Xbox One X, and the Xbox One X, and plus the I said S and the X, and then the Scarlet. What you're doing is that you're trying to implement all of this new technology into something, and if it fails, then yes, they should be scrutinized for it. But if that game is delayed, because that is for me one of the biggest features for Crackdown 3 that I'm anticipating, and it works, the delays were worth it. Just the same thing with Days Gone. I don't care that the game is delayed. I'm just asking the question is like, hey, where's that same energy? You was clowning and making fun of Crackdown. Where's this same energy for that? That's all I'm saying.
They don't need to have the same energy for this type of delay. It's not like you can have the same energy if it's delayed a year. This delay doesn't warrant any kind of energy. So I don't know what you're looking for.
No. I'm just asking for the same thing. No, I'm just talking about just delays, period. Because neither did the same reason for Crackdown being delayed a week. That's what I'm saying. It's not like it's going for a lead. I'm like, look, if you're going to be consistent, be consistent. Don't sit here and talk shit about any of these other games. But then when it comes to a game for a platform that you like, don't flip the script and just say, oh, well, you know what? That was smart strategy. Look, these are two different type of games that's going to be coming out. One is going to be a single player, but it's going to also have to use some kind of capabilities because of all the hordes of zombies. And so, of course, it's going to have to use more power than what would normally be used on a regular PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? I get that. You know what I'm saying? Crackdown is going with this multiplayer that's going to be crazy bananas. And if it works, then the delays were necessary, just like with Uncharted 4. I've even said this before. I said this in videos. Like, look, Uncharted 4 has got delayed, but there shouldn't be no clowning about it because of the fact that as long as these games, if Uncharted 4 comes out and the game is great, then it should be what it is. You see what I'm saying? Because they had all those extra delays. Even the media was going out and saying, well, people was quitting and all this and that. Look, that's the whole point of it. Like, look, just keep the same energy about it. Don't bitch and complain about one side. Be consistent. That's my whole point. That's my whole point. So anybody else want to touch on this?
I just want to say with Crackdown, we all didn't know what to expect at E3. We all watched these videos, right? At Crackdown, how did we leave that press conference? Was we not stunned?
Yeah, it looks better. It looks way better.
It don't even look like the same game.
Right.
Yeah. You can see the progress. That's the biggest thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if anybody in here that has that doubt, go back and watch those E3 videos from 2018, where they was running down the street, jumped in the car transformed into a tank, then he jumped out, then he showed the clear crystal face of Terry Crews and the explosions, and that's not the same game that we saw from
in
before.
2017. Yeah, because 2017 at E3 2017, I got to play, like I think Infamous did too, if I'm not mistaken, but I got to play the Crackdown. I got to play it at E3. It was on the show floor and everything. They had tons of them. People would take, it's recording video. You can even look on YouTube just look for Crackdown 3 off screen, and you will see how the game played. And when you compare what they had in 2017 versus what they showed at 2018, it's definitely a difference, a huge difference in quality.
It definitely warrants a delay if that's the change they're gonna make, because it looks like they started over to me, because that's crazy, or they moved everything to a new engine or something, because that
it's called polish. That's all it is. They gotta have more time to polish a game. And that's what you're witnessing. That's what you're able to see. You're able to see the difference in the time that's spent there. And I feel like this decision came from Phil. Like, look, he played it. He like, nah, we gotta keep this cooking. And also, when you was at E3, they was getting feedback. Like, I know when I played it, the guy was like, what you think? I was like, oh, it feels like the original Crackdown. You could still do the targeting. You could target limbs. You know how in Crackdown 1 where you could target like people's legs, chest.
And it kind of locks onto the whole body, and you can
see
within the box.
Exactly. Yeah, it had that. Like, you could still, the car still transform, the character still transform. It had every element from the first Crackdown in the game.
It had those elements before Fallout.
Right, exactly. And so what? That's great point. But what was interesting about that is they want to make sure they capture all of that. You know what I mean? And so them being able to add to that, I'm curious to know what it's gonna look like. That's why I can't wait to see what they do with XO. I mean, like I said, I've been trying to temper my expectations, but hopefully they show it, because I feel like they should have showed the multiplayer by now. But we'll see.
No, that's the thing. Like, if they don't show the multiplayer at XO, then there's a problem. I've said that.
I don't think so. I don't see that. I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I don't agree that if they don't.
I think they're. It's not necessarily in a bad spot, but I think they're in a position where they need to show something, or it's going to give a lot of people the wrong idea. The biggest thing with Crackdown is that, as everyone's brought up, is that the delay has done wonders for the game. Delays aren't necessarily bad. They really aren't when you see that kind of progress. Look at some games that have been delayed and there's been no major overhaul.
Right, or no change.
Exactly. One of the biggest ones who I say was saved by a delay after it was stuck in development hell and going in and out, Final Fantasy 15. For those who played it, that game was significantly different than what it was when it came out. And that was because of the fact that it had been canceled, restarted, delayed, and rebooted multiple times during the 10 years that it was in development. And if it didn't get the last 2 years of development, when it did get restarted by Hajime Tabata, that game would have been, who knows what happened. It doesn't always work. Look at what happened with Duke Nukem Forever. A lot of people may have still enjoyed the game for what it was.
What about Last Guardian?
Last Guardian was canceled. You could tell Last Guardian was canceled.
Last Guardian was the same game they showed off a couple of years back.
Right.
And that's another one that.
So you basically saying Last Guardian was a filler game. They're like, yo.
Yeah.
Gotta fill out our holiday.
I mean, weren't they sparse that holiday season though? Weren't they sparse?
Yeah, guys. Despite the jokes, that we've seen delays work in both favor and against games across, and this is across the industry. This has happened with everyone. The fact is, when a game's delayed, if you're gonna be calling out a game for being delayed, it needs to go for all games, because we've seen it happen to all games across all publishers, across all systems, across all exclusivity. That's the bottom line. The people who are talking shit about Crackdown getting pushed back by a week needs to do the same thing for the 2 months.
I mean, come on, a week.
And you brought up a good
that's a
point.
marketing move.
Yeah,
Plain and simple.
Exactly. And I said this, and anyone who wants to take the time to go back, because there's going to be weirdos who do that. If you go back 2 months ago, or even 3 months ago, right after E3, I said that with the amount of games coming out in February, that Crackdown and Days Gone.
Wasn't Red Dead delayed? So
Red Dead was delayed because it was originally supposed to come back in spring, and now it's coming out in next week. Right, that's another game. And look at that. That was 6 months.
But hold on. But also, don't forget this: is that when Red Dead moved, everything else moved. COD moved. Crackdown was supposed to come out right after Forza, and then Forza moved. And Crackdown got pushed back some more because of that. Because
I fully believe that Crackdown's done, y'all. Like I believe that firmly.
Yeah, me too.
I believe so.
I just think it's a matter of marketing, and that's why they looked at January. They saw that January was packed. They looked at February. It's like, yeah, okay, we can probably work February. Not knowing that Metro, not knowing that Anthem
else was coming out.
Right, exactly.
And that's what I was about to say. Is that if they look at what came out after they made that announcement, and they go back and listen to what I said multiple times that the best move for both games, because of everything that's right around them, either go to the beginning of February before everything drops, or move out of that time frame, because I said them keeping in the middle of that entire section from January, honestly, the end of January to the end of March, that whole 2 month time frame is going to cannibalize any game that wants to try and be successful. There's going to be the big ones that are going to get attention no matter what. But other games that are still iffy and borderline for a lot of people, they were better off either moving before that time frame or out. So the Days Gone delay, I don't give shit to Sony for making that call. Honestly, it was the best call for that game because a lot of people have already been iffy on it. But the fact is,
I feel like with Crackdown, we know exactly what we get with Crackdown.
With Crackdown, we know what we're getting.
We know exactly what we're getting with Crackdown.
And they moved a little bit.
I don't get what people are harping about, when I hear negative feedback behind that game.
The only thing with Crackdown moving out a week out is that they are still coming out a week after, a game like Anthem.
Yeah, they should have actually moved it a month out.
They should. No, honestly, they should have moved it before, towards the beginning of February, because towards the end of January, the only big competition they have is Kingdom Hearts 3 and Resident Evil 2.
Wait,
if they stay at the end of February, they have Metro, they have Anthem. Let me see. I had the whole list right here. They literally have
Metro don't. Everybody don't play Metro like that.
But
Metro out of the game.
But it is highly anticipated.
We play Metro, but I'm not getting Metro day one.
I don't play anticipated though.
It's still anticipated.
What do you mean? Everybody don't buy Metro. Retro look good.
Hang on for a second, man. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that right where it is in the biggest games that are starting the February to March train behind Anthem. Then they also have Jump Force. They have Metro, and then
Jump Force come out. Jump Force come out in January, right?
No, it's February.
Yeah,
I thought it was. I bought it. I thought it said January.
No.
Yo, they got my money. Take my wallet.
Yeah, because I gave it to him already.
What I'm trying to say is that
hold on. Wait. Let me just say this. So I can just knock it out real fast for you. Okay. All right. In February, you got Ace Combat 7. You got
that's gonna be good.
You got Ace Combat 7. You got Dead or Alive 6. You got Anthem. You have Trials. You have Metro. You got Crackdown. You have RPG Maker. You got Jump Force. You got the Walking Dead game, and then there's other games that people might be interested in. That's in this mix. February is
that Walking Dead game might be good, but overkill.
And
that's by the guys that did
Darkness. Think about this.
Right.
Shortly a week into March, you have Left Alive, which is a big game done by the artist who did the work for Metal Gear with a PS4 exclusive. You have Devil May Cry on the 8th of March, Division 2 on the 15th, shortly after, and then Sekiro. There's a lot of big games in that time frame that is going to cannibalize. So
Sekiro comes out that soon,
and the Division 2 comes out.
That's what I said. I said the Division 2 on the 15th.
The Division probably sells. The Division probably sells, but everybody's not going to buy all the games. We're going to do it.
That's what I'm trying to
say. We're gonna buy them because we gameaholics. We need to go to Gameaholics Anonymous.
Seriously, we're trying to say right now.
Hey,
I said we need to go to Game Anonymous.
We're trying to listen. We all can't talk at once.
I know.
You're not letting me finish the point, 100. What I'm saying is that all these, whether they're big or not for certain people, is that they're games that have a lot of attention, and that in that 1 month window alone, from the end of February to the end of March, is going to have heavy hitting games that if you are stuck in there and you don't have that attention, it is going to cannibalize your sales. Days Gone originally being on the 22nd was not going to get the attention because a lot of people were just like, well, all these other big games are coming. I'm going to wait for Days Gone. Them moving 2 months out probably gave that game more potential sales. Well, Crackdown got delayed a week. It's still in the middle of that very
what's that delay? Let me ask you a question. Was that delay a week? You said February 26th or something like that.
It went from the 22nd to the 28th, I believe.
To the 28th. Was that announced? Like officially announced?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Man, they should have delayed it.
What y'all say? What game got Crackdown?
Put it earlier.
I'm going to the store right now.
I honestly
put it earlier.
They should have gone at the beginning of February. Like I said, the only two big games that are coming out at the end of January that would have given it any sort of takeaway from its potential sales is Kingdom Hearts 3 and Resident Evil 2 Remake. And that's on the 25th and the 29th of January. But they would have been able to
cannibalize it.
Yeah, those two alone, while they would have had done numbers, they wouldn't have heavily affected sales going before everything big that's coming out in February.
You got Super Mario Brothers Deluxe. You got Mario and Luigi. You also got
but that's on Nintendo, bro.
Don't matter. That people that's where you making them.
Well, Crackdown ain't on Nintendo, bro.
No, but that's where you're not understanding.
Super Mario Brothers for the Switch, I would say, is a big seller.
Right. If people have a PlayStation, an Xbox, and a Switch, if they got multiple consoles, there might be people that say, "Look, man, I can trust Mario more than I'll trust Crackdown."
And let me say something. I'm going to bring this up earlier.
And Kingdom Hearts 3.
Let me bring this up. Nintendo, Microsoft and Sony can definitely take a page out of Nintendo's book because Nintendo won't release a game until it's ready.
Yep.
Right.
They refuse.
They care about the quality of a game.
They do not play that.
And I think
you got the
depending on what happens with Crackdown, we might see
as well in January.
Yeah, Onimusha. Well, depending on what we see out of Crackdown 3, they may have taken a page out of Nintendo's book. Because if Crackdown 3 comes out at that time and it's phenomenal all the way across and that does great, that means that they learn to take their time and not just rush it out. Because think about it, they delayed it by an extra year and a half, and if we're seeing the progress that it's making now, then we know that was worth it. Because people forget that it was originally supposed to come out in November of 2017, right next to the Xbox One launch, but we got it a year and a half later, and if it actually comes out and is well worth the wait, then that means that the delays and everything that they did to make that game even better was well worth it. That didn't put out a half-assed, unpolished piece of OS that everyone else is going to give it.
Okay, so now,
can I ask one question?
Hold on. One thing everybody forgetting to say though. One thing everybody forgetting to say though. People looking at the game. Of course, we seeing the progress when you go look, and it's actually visible that it's looking better when it come out. But the game is actually just a shell. The main focus is this power of the cloud. This is the cornerstone for the power of the cloud. Now, with this cornerstone, they want to place this in the area where it can get the most shine, most publicity, and they can actually show other developers, look what this can do.
Right.
So when other players get to play in this game.
This multiplayer, like I'm the only one caring about a single player game.
No. I'm not saying don't nobody care about it, but I'm saying.
No, I'm just saying the multiplayer's gonna be good. Like, I'm not saying that the multiplayer's gonna be bad. I'm just saying I'm looking forward to the single player experience. Like I'm looking forward
to everything.
No, I'm saying like by cause.
I'm looking forward to the whole package.
Big though.
See, care about the power of the cloud.
No. Hold on. Let me finish.
I'm sorry.
I was just saying that's why they moving it though, because the cause and effect is the single player could be good, the game could be a good game. I mean, I'm not taking nothing away from the game. It's not the game itself. That's the reason why. The reason is this cloud, and this is the first thing they've been bragging about. So they need for this to be successful, so they can market it to other games. So the game,
they move it a week, is what you're saying. They move it a week.
I mean, they might move it
like a week. To me,
the game ain't worried about
but Delilah,
this game. They just worried about it's the thing that it could do. So
I think Chuck is absolutely right. I think Chuck is absolutely right for the mere point that the cloud. This is going to be.
They've talked about the cloud for a while.
For a while, and this is the staple stone for them to attract other people. Yes, a showcase piece. If the cloud, if this game is not going to utilize the power of the cloud, like
it turns me out because like when Matt Booty, they interviewed Matt Booty and asked him about Crackdown 3. He did not want to even say anything about the cloud.
Exactly.
Like he didn't want to mention anything about the cloud.
That's the perfect promotion right now. That's perfect.
Right.
But I got a question.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. I got a question. I got something that I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say it because I'm gonna say it first. I don't got no sources or nothing. Crackdown 3 when they say it's gonna come out. I'm about to say this right now. No, can I give y'all? Can I give you my
Gotta say it.
No, Kingo, can I get what I'm saying? Why? Can I get what I'm saying? Why? See, y'all won't let me see. Y'all always beat me up.
We didn't hear you.
Shut up for a second and listen to what we're saying to you was botting. Now say it again.
I'm so apologize. Damn, I blame you. Oh, internet. This your show.
I blame the Hennessy.
Mine. No, yeah. But no, I'm saying this. I'm saying that I don't believe Crackdown gonna come out when Crackdown gonna come out. I think it's gonna get pushed back too.
Good luck.
Guess why? Guess why?
Why?
Guess why? Okay, if you go on the Xbox store now, right? How many games that you can that has a set is set in stone?
They can put these games out.
No, that you can pre-download on them. Like I can get Metro right now, pre-down, Devil May Cry. I can get the Division. I can even get what's that? So, I believe it. I can even get Kingdom Hearts right now. I can get Kingdom Hearts and get it pre-download. So my thing is Microsoft is always first to put their games in that store for you to pre-download them. Am I right?
We can make a bet. I bet you whatever you want to bet.
Yeah, bet Delilah.
Delilah,
you gonna get in there?
I say Crackdown ain't coming down that. No, I can't bet her, man, because she got insiders.
Come on, man.
It's not a good bet. It ain't a good bet.
I don't win. I don't make bets.
I can't make it because I know her sources and I know the sources that she's getting. I can't. Know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna roll the dice. I bet a game. I bet a game. I'm gonna roll the dice.
What's the value of the game though? $60?
$60.
Let's get it.
Yeah, $60.
Crackdown.
$60. I roll the dice all the time. I'm a gambler.
Bet. Okay.
I'm gonna get. Matter of fact, Crackdown. I'll buy Crackdown.
Exactly. Crackdown 3.
I'll buy Crackdown.
He buys you Crackdown.
That's a bet.
I'll buy you Crackdown. It's gonna get gifted to you on Xbox.
It's on Game Pass.
And I'm not a
No, forget
that. Come on, let's be real.
No, I'm gonna get you Crackdown. No. Matter of fact, it don't gotta be Crackdown. It could be any game of your choice. I'll just send you $60.
Let's do it like this.
I love that. Let
it be a $60 gift card. Xbox gift card.
Yeah, that's what I said. I can give you an Xbox gift card. That's what I said. I'll give you $60. You can do whatever you want to do with it.
Cool. It's not.
There we go.
That's what I'm saying. Because I believe it would have been in the store for pre-download. And like I say, I roll. And like I say, I don't crap out too much. I crap out sometimes.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Bro, you're about to roll straight snake eyes, man.
Let me tell you something. This I already won because Phil already said they ain't Atlanta no more.
They can push the thing about it is that hang on. If they feel like that game was hot, it's nothing set in stone. I've been looking for stuff that's set in stone.
Let me tell you, they were released.
I know what you're talking about. What Phil said. I know what you said. What Phil said.
They will release that game and patch the hell out of it before they delay it again.
You're right. Phil ain't gonna take no more of it. The Killer Phil said no more delay.
Oh.
You know what I'm gonna call Phil right now. Phil, I need to get this game pushed back here. Oh, Delilah no money.
Phone. Hey, if you say anything about Delilah, Phil ain't gonna answer the phone. Anything else, he might answer the phone, but that's his girl.
I'm just saying. I'm putting this way. I'm. You know me. I play the devil's advocate. If I lose, you know, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Well, no, but my thing is,
$60 on the wood. That's what's going on.
Huh? Oh, yeah, I got $60 on the wood. It's $60. I ain't broke.
I love free money. Let's go.
Everybody loves free money. Hey, and on the first, you better not forget about my free game on the wood. That's what I want.
What's your game? What's the game that you want? I forgot. What's the game?
It's either COD or Fallout 76.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Yeah, whatever.
I'll get you Call of Duty. You ain't gonna play no Fallout. I'll get you Call of Duty. You ain't gonna get you no Fallout. I bought Fallout for myself for my own birthday.
Hey, Megan, did you at least pre-order it so that way you get the beta next week?
I know, right? Which one, for COD or for Fallout?
For Fallout, man. Because it's the 23rd early.
I'm going to tell you guys about that Fallout 76.
Mm-hmm.
Man, let's go on to the next subject.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, it's late.
Yeah. It's late. We only got about 15 minutes, and then we're gonna get out of here. So anyway, do y'all? Okay, I'm gonna ask everybody what they want to do next. Do they want to talk about Black Ops 4, or y'all want to talk about localization? Which
localization?
Black Ops.
What the hell is localization? We trying to download shit to your hard drive or something?
Bro, no. Wait.
No, I don't.
I'm asking.
I'm just telling you the truth.
I'm asking the panel instead of going to a long discussion. Delilah, you want to talk about localization? Or you want to talk about COD?
Neither.
Infamous, you want to talk about COD? Or you want to talk about localization?
Localization, because I don't have COD yet.
But no. This is just a question about COD and the single player aspect of it. But okay, that's fine. 108. You want to talk about localization or you want to talk about COD?
I want to talk about COD.
Okay.
Call of Duty. Call
of Duty. All right.
I say COD as well.
Okay. All right. Livewire. You the one. Which one you want to do? Localization or you want to talk about COD?
Neither.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess I got the sounded voice. Talk about
why you biting, bro.
We're gonna talk about COD, and then we'll try to have enough time to talk about localization on the way out of here. All right, so damn it, I do want to say this. I just heard some sad news that the season 3 for Luke Cage has been canceled by Netflix.
What? 3 of Luke Cage?
Yes, Luke 3. Yeah.
Damn, man, man, that's another game. I have to go buy him a game.
Oh, shit.
I already know where it's going.
So this is what
bro, you need to stop betting people for games, bro.
I ain't betting, but that's a friendly bet. That's a friendly bet.
They need to do Heroes for Hire, man. Fuck the dumb shit.
Friendly bet.
We want some games. So anyway, the fact of it is this is right. Hashtag save lock. That's perfect for my man. Go ahead. 343.
I gotta see this for myself.
Give my man a call and let back.
Man, he's still Luke Cage. I'm sorry, K-Meg.
I gotta see this. I gotta see this for myself. They didn't cancel no Luke Cage. That was the most watched show.
They just
hey, I want to hear some news about this.
They ain't cancel no Luke Cage.
I'm sad.
Man, they cancel Luke Cage, man. Come on.
I bet you another game.
I cancel my Netflix subscription right now.
It's on the internet.
It's everywhere.
No, I ain't betting. No, I'm going on the interweb now. But I'm telling you, if they do it, I'm canceling my Netflix subscription right now. I don't use that shit anyway. I use Code.
Let's get on to it. All right. So the success, COD is over here got over 500 million in what, a week? It's killing 3 days. It is killing. 3 days. COD is back, right? Okay, so
digital sales are through the roof.
Yeah, digital sales is through the roof. Everybody's loving the blackout. It's a killer right now. COD is back. Now, the question that I have for the panel, and I'm going to, I'm going to the ladies. I mean, Delilah is hot. She's hot brimstone tonight. So what I want to ask you is this an open invitation for single player campaigns for these type of games to be exit out because of the success of what COD's doing right now?
No.
Okay, and why is that?
Because think about this. Halo You could never release without a campaign.
You sure?
I'm sure about that.
Yeah.
What about Battlefield? What about Battlefield?
Battlefield could, yes.
It might not have no campaign.
Battlefield could. You
Okay.
said
Yeah,
what?
they could do Battlefield without a campaign.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Like this is.
I mean, look, Halo
Yeah,
is tied so close to the Master Chief. People, I mean, last release and how much people up in arms about the fact that Master Chief wasn't the main character. So I look
fuck that because Locke was there. Yeah. Anyway, keep going.
but I feel like I feel like just because Call of Duty released with no single player doesn't give the games, games like Cyberpunk and Elder Scrolls 4 or the newest one that's coming out and all that stuff to be like, oh, we doing one multiplayer only. That's not gonna happen.
Blades and then 6.
Yeah. Okay. Nerd. Whatever.
Hey, whoa!
Just saying.
I am a never-ending radical dude. Thank you very much.
Twitter fingers.
Twitter fingers.
But Delilah does have a point though, because games like COD and Battlefield, they don't have a main character.
Right.
Halo has a main character.
Yes.
Which is Master Chief.
And it's book driven. It's not just.
That's right. Same thing with Gears. Like I recently saw an interview with the Gears, the Rod Ferguson, the guy who's the head of the Coalition, and he pretty much echoed the same thing. Like, look, we care about the characters, we care about the story, we care about the world that we're building. Just because all these other battle royales and all these other multiplayer games, these fads, if you will, because they're gonna be fads.
Single player dead.
You know what I'm saying?
What?
Chuck, okay, Chuck.
Stay up so I kick your behind and back. Stay up.
What
you disrespecting.
What's gonna finish with? It doesn't mean that his studio is gonna all of a sudden stop and make a battle royale game. Like, come on, man. Let's be real. So they're focusing on.
No. What 108? We'll go to you.
Go ahead, Delilah.
Delilah said she was done.
I'm not gonna even because Triple Cup Chuck tripping.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Like y'all, everybody. I tell people this all the time. I'm like 80% multiplayer, 20% single player, and that's because
we know
that's a you problem. That's all you though. Right. That's you.
Right.
I mean, nobody
because you get seasick.
Oh, but Chuck, let Chuck talk. Chuck ain't been giving respect.
You know, said Disney when you play shooters. Just because only you can play sports games and racing games.
Come on,
just only you can play.
Don't.
That was a low blow.
Hey, you know everybody can get it.
Hey, let Chuck have his opinion.
But look, check this out though. For real though. I mean, on the real though, I do care about my single player games because I was crushed when Telltale's had perished, and I was in love with Clementine. I felt like that was my done. So
they still gonna finish it.
They good. What's
interesting? This is another studio going to take the original studio. The original people going to try to finish it.
Why y'all
That's not double confirmed.
We harass you every night, so you should be used to it.
The creator of Walking Dead has his own studio. And he's jumping in to recover the game.
Finish,
please. Okay, well, I'm happy they back then. So, but anyway, though, with the thing about it is, it's gonna take like the games like Battlefield. Like they do have a lot of people that just play the single player mode. They love how they bringing it, but they saying it's cost effective. They could just drop the whole concept of the single player mode.
Let me ask you a question real quick.
Oh, Delilah, come on, man.
Get him, girl.
Talk about something
Happy holiday. I like it when mommy say get him.
Like,
get him.
Talk about stuff he can't even play right now. Like, you get dizzy when you play.
I play Call of Duty. I play Battlefield. I say it's certain ones. And I could be able to weed out into the people that actually have that's motion sickness. Say, okay, if you want a first person shooter, this will be a good game. This will be a game that don't play, or this is what you got to do to turn your movement levels down to actually and change your Y axis. You know, stuff to help people out there have that condition.
You ain't handicapped. I ain't make no controller for you. You just got motion sickness. Take some Xanax.
They shake so hard.
Take some Xanax. Drink some Hennessy. We drunk Kavasi together, and we ain't even been seeing each other. Drink some Kavasi. You ain't gonna get no motion sickness. You might be woozy though.
Talking about.
We might be losing.
That's left. Go ahead.
Knuckles. Okay. Oh no, are you done, Chuck?
Man, I'm good because it'll never come out. Go ahead, because we're gonna go all
Damn. Hold on. Before I go to Knuckles, let me go to Kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope, what is your thought about COD and single players? Is it going to be eradicated mostly on these, especially with these third-party games, these shooters?
Look. The ones that don't actually feature a main character, those could actually go the straight-up multiplayer route. They don't need a story.
Right.
All right. Now, the ones that do have main characters and whatnot, those are the ones that do need the stories. Like Delilah said it fine, man. You can't have Halo without a campaign. It's not going to happen.
You don't need no campaign for Halo.
People will revolt. All right, literally. All right, they'll fucking try to crucify Microsoft, start burning stakes at the Redmond offices. People will fucking go crazy.
Problem.
Oh yeah, right? No, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, but if you got things like Fortnite, you don't need no fucking story for that, man. This is a multiplayer shit. PUBG, you don't need a story for that. You know what you got to do. You just go out there and fucking kill the dude. That's all it is.
Hey, what about a game like Friday the 13th?
Hey, but what about ODST? What about ODST though?
Nah, Buck gotta be in there, bro.
Hey, Buck gotta do that.
Like that was a game without Master Chief.
Yeah, but that's a side story. See, I wouldn't mind a Halo ODST too. You know what I'm saying? Same shit.
What about Halo War?
Halo War. Hey, it was called Halo 5.
Well, you can have Halo War, man. That's not for me.
Lemon.
Hey, what about the new Halo that's supposed to be coming out? Do y'all have any information?
Problem is skin deep.
Infinite. Okay. Well, okay. All right. You know what? This is bad on me. This is my bad because the one person in here that's the truest, most diehard COD fan. I didn't go to this person. H. No. Infamous. What?
I'm like y'all talking about Call of Duty like y'all play this shit all the time.
Lemon does.
Hey, go to the COD.
Hell no.
Lady Infamous. Talk to us. You know what? Talk to the people out here. We know that you're gonna tell you like this. Should be still single player to COD?
Not. It don't have to. It's not necessary.
What? Don't you do this? Don't you do this? I'm gonna cut your mic off.
Let her preach.
You won't let me talk? You won't let me talk? I swear. I swear. If somebody cut me off one more time. If somebody cut me off one more time. Black Ops. I personally did not like that they did not have a single player mode on the newest Black Ops 4. But if you guys are familiar with the story, the Woods characters ended in Black Ops 2, which was a great story, by the way. Black Ops 3 was very muddled. Their story mode was very muddled, and it was very like Call of Duty fans did not like Black Ops 3 story mode. They just proved that they pulled an Overwatch. I can't get mad at that. I can't knock their hustle for that. Is it gonna happen with future games? If it doesn't have a bomb story, no, they're gonna completely scrap their single player.
Overwatch,
okay. PUBG, Fortnite, Dead by Daylight. That's not even there's not even a real. They have very little or no story attached to them. So will they continue with the Black Ops? I won't be surprised if the next Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 4, or whatever the fuck it might be, may not have a story mode. Because you have to have a good story that's going to connect from each title of your games. Now, if you do not have that, then what's the point of having a single player? And you're saving money as well. I can admit when I am wrong. Even though I personally didn't like not having a story mode, I'm pleasantly surprised of how successful it was going to be. And I am shocked that a lot of people was talking shit about, hey, y'all, I'm not getting this game because it has no story mode. But as soon as it came out, it was like, this is Blackout and the 54 Immortals all day, every day. Now, when I had the little crackhead Call of Duty itches, so I'm gonna have to get it.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I was itching.
Was you itching?
I was itching on the 12.
We gonna call her. We gonna call her Lady Hypocrite. You know what I'm saying?
I tell Lady this every time. Like, man, you gonna buy? She talk all this stuff about the game,
and then she gonna get mad.
And they be like, oh, you buy the day one though. Like,
okay, but
yep.
I didn't do
the same thing with Madden.
No, but I was saying that's what I was saying.
Same with 2K.
Okay, I just didn't get it. I didn't get it first day because I got to worry about TwitchCon next week. But if I ain't have to go to TwitchCon next week, I'll be playing Black Ops 4.
Well, giving your money to Activision, the devil.
Yep, Activision. Hey, I gotta give it up to Activision, fucking Fortnite.
I didn't give it up to Fortnite. My son just had my credit card and he decided to hit. Yeah. So don't blame it. I didn't do it. I don't play Fortnite.
If my son hit my credit card, there's a thing that's called a belt that's gonna be hitting the son.
It's called. I can't hit him with a belt. It's called I can't hit him with a belt because he lives an hour away from me, so I can't touch him. And then I go play cerebral mind games until his mama take that Xbox and take that phone.
I'm just saying, everybody's getting blackout. It's all about blackout. When I play, I'm gonna play multiplayer, hardcore kill confirm, hardcore search and destroy,
shit.
and zombies. That's it. And then blackout.
Zombies do look really dope though.
That's what really.
I can't.
Yeah, that kill confirmed though ain't no joke.
I'm just happy for the fact that I don't look. I kept my promise. I said I wasn't going to buy this card this year, and you know what? I got to give it up to my main man 100 because he's going to buy it for me. So yeah, man,
that's very nice of him. That is very nice.
Yeah, it's nice of me. And guess what I'm gonna do? I ain't buying Call of Duty. I'm gonna buy me a Nintendo Switch. Hell with that.
You're
buy me a Nintendo Switch Black Friday.
I love that shit.
Before I buy Call of Duty, I'm gonna buy me a Nintendo Switch. That's what I'm gonna do for myself
and
on Black Friday.
On it?
Zelda.
Oh, whatever.
You better go get that game on.
Zelda.
He gonna be playing.
I don't need no third party.
He gonna be milking that cow with those little nunchuck things.
Nah, my thing it don't go. Why y'all want to? I'm telling you, I'm trying to support another system. Y'all should be happy. You know what I'm saying? I might beat y'all in some. I might. No, I'm just gonna get a Switch. I told myself I'm gonna get a Switch. Somebody said I was.
You gonna
try game? Small for me though, man.
But I want a game with it, so I felt I'd get a game with it on Black Friday. So if I pick the game, I don't care about no more. I pick Zelda. I hope him and Lincoln Zelda finally do something. Pans off then. So
don't Zelda actually talk in this one? I think she talks in this one, right?
Yeah, they talk. So that's what it is. I said I'll pick that one.
All right.
And then I probably want to play Bayonetta when it comes out.
All right.
Oh hell yeah. Bayonetta. Definitely.
We over the time. So basically, I'm gonna let anybody else that want to talk about this subject talk about it, and then I'm gonna let Knuckles take over for the last point.
No. Okay, wait. If you guys want to give me Black Ops 4, my gamer tag is Lady Infamous 30. Well,
yeah, but hold on. There could be people that's people that's listening. I mean, there's hundreds of people that's listening. That's
hundreds of people. Did you say hundreds?
Yeah, hundreds of people.
It's supposed to be thousands and thousands. The millions of our fans of GRG. What they talking about? The hundreds?
No. Check it out. So
the millions.
It shows 55 viewers, but it's in the hundreds when people. I don't know why YouTube do that, but anyway, Lady Infamous, go ahead and solicit yourself. Ain't nothing eBay. Go ahead.
You said solicit yourself. That's how you gotta use another word. You gotta use a word. That's another word. You can't use the word solicited.
Solicit yourself, girl. Anyway.
My birthday is in 2 months. You can start the party off right. You can get your Black Ops 4, Lady Infamous 30. Lady Infamous 30.
She get 4 copies of that game. So
hey, you know what? It's all good. So she can give it out. So that's okay. Hook out my girl, Lady Infamous. Her birthday's coming up soon. She's a female. She's a real gamer, and she's a true COD. Look, I've seen her in person. She's a real woman. So check it out. So go ahead.
She's a true COD fan.
Selling it, Mega. You're not selling it.
You're not selling it, right, bro.
I'm sorry.
What you drinking over there?
I feel appalled that K Mega said we gotta go to our Call of Duty specialists who don't even own the goddamn game.
I know, right?
Excuse me. Wait. The only reason that I don't own the game is because I gotta go to a convention next week. I gotta stack up paper for that. If I didn't have to go to TwitchCon next week, like I said, I would have been had the game. If I want the game right now, I get it right now.
Can we have this conversation on Xbox Live? Because everybody don't need to know nobody's business.
Hey, lady, you
on
need
the
to
well, they already know.
No, but you know, nobody has to deny me like I ain't no Call of Duty pro. I'm sorry.
Yo, there it is, yo.
What's your
rank? Clear as day.
What's your rank in Black Ops 4? I'm just gonna be playing Red Dead.
Shit, yo, I can't wait for that though. I can't wait.
I can't wait for. Okay, all right.
Y'all can have Red Dead.
I guess we're pretty much over.
Hey, anybody want to buy me Red Dead? I ain't gonna play it right away. You can buy me Red Dead.
Go your ass, 100. Go ahead.
Y'all can get you can buy me Red Dead. I ain't gonna play it though. It's a funny January. I ain't gonna even play. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm keeping it a buck. So if you gonna buy it for me, I ain't gonna play it right away. You know what I'm saying? You can buy me Jump Force. You can go buy me all these games if you want to, cause y'all buy Mega all these games. So Mega don't even play them. So go buy me, give them to me.
Damn, so I'm a fraud. I don't play none of these games, bro. God damn, that's hard.
Give him the Kaleidoscope. Give him to Delilah, Lady Infamous. Give him to Bloody. Give all these games.
Damn it, man.
We ain't got enough time in a day.
Look, I take games. I knock games out one at a time. I'll be going up. I'm so appreciative of the people that's hooked me up again. And that's not true. And that's not true because I beat God of War. I beat Detroit. I beat plenty of games. The thing of it is that look, I got to get when Spider-Man comes. I'm going to get hooked up with Spider-Man, which that's.
I beat Spider-Man. I can say I beat Spider-Man.
I'll beat Spider-Man, and you know what I'm saying. But I do have to go and get deeper into Monster Hunter, and I do got to get started and really start playing Far Cry 5 because
I really forgot about Monster Hunter.
Yeah, you haven't played Monster Hunter that much?
I put in maybe about 10, 15 hours. So I got
you got to hook up with me and Blood even.
Yeah. Well, let's do that because I'm almost done with I beat Tomb Raider and I'm almost done with Forza. Forza's almost done. So yeah, so I can have some time.
Maybe how many hours have you been putting into Forza?
Almost 200 hours.
We play Forza for like the whole every day. We put Forza every day.
I'm almost done, man.
Every day we put in Forza.
He's almost done, man. Look at that. Oh my gosh.
I'm almost a Prestige 2 in Forza, man.
I'm Prestige 1. And I'm Prestige 1. Man. So we've been putting in work. I'm looking for races.
I didn't even know they had it.
I'm looking for races.
Prestige.
I'm trying to get that.
A race a day, keep the enemies away. That's how you got to think about it.
Anyway, it does. Okay, so anyway, let's. I'm gonna let Knuckles get to the last point, and then we're gonna get out of here. But we got to be quick with that because we're not gonna make it till 11 o'clock. We're gonna get this shit done. So go ahead, Knuckles. Talk about localization. Let's go. All
right. So what it comes down to is that just earlier last week that Sega shareholders had a meeting with the shareholders making a presentation about their finances as of right now. And they were talking about the surprise success that they had with Persona, as well as having the success of Yakuza doing really well from the Kiwami 2 remake, as well as the surprise hit of Fist of the North Star doing really well, and that they're showing
Fist of the North Star doing good.
Yes, Fist of the North Star is actually doing really well because it came from the same studio that does the Yakuza games, Like a Dragon Studios.
I might have to cop that because I like this.
Oh, I've been playing the hell out of it and I love it. But anyways, so the biggest thing right now is that they were talking about how they were surprised by the success of these games in the West when typically they don't do very well. Well, they noted the biggest success was thanks to their acquisition and partnership with Atlas Studios and having a dedicated studio here in the US to do a lot of the localization for their games that come over from Japan, and how that's helped to increase their presence as well as the support for the games in the West, because games like Yakuza, while doing really big in Japan, don't always do really big here in the West, but they continue to support it. So they went on to note why localization is such a big thing for their future for their future games, because having a studio here in the US to support the localization, having companies that are willing to help out, like what we're seeing with Sega working with Microsoft, which we haven't even seen the full extent of, shows that Sega is truly making the moves to really get their IPs out from retirement as long as they have been, as well as make a strong push to do more in the Western audience while bringing more of those games over, because a lot of their series haven't been outside of Japan in quite some time, and the ones that do aren't always the biggest sellers, just because of the fact that they don't have a strong presence over here or enough localization help. So they are wanting to really push with their studio with Atlas to be able to bring more stuff over, as well as to help increase their audience here in the West with their presence. And they have plenty of great games to do, with Atlas alone making the Persona series, as well as a couple other games, and then the success of Yakuza, as well as Fist of the North Star. I think we're going to see Sega start to increase their definitely increase the presence and bring back a lot of their older games, just like we saw with Valkyria Chronicles actually doing fairly well, as well as the success of Shining Resonance.
That's the bloody word of the day.
What?
That was a statement, wasn't it? That couldn't have been a question.
No. Well, that wasn't really a question. He was bringing up the whole thing about he was bringing out about the localization of how certain Japanese games since like Atlas has made a big put, since Atlas is like Persona for the very first time has really got sales. Yakuza, they're selling well right now. It's because they relocated their studios into the United States, into Europe, and so they can promote better and try to appeal to
the audience is there.
Yeah, to an audience that does like anime and things like that. So the question he is asked, so the question is basically like, what do you guys think about localization? Is this good for Japanese games? And if in anything, what Japanese games do you guys play that you like, that you would think that should get better recognition?
I think the biggest one for those games that'll go to the most would probably be Chuck or Collider, because I know they're the biggest ones who play a lot of those games besides I do. But with this, it's just showing why localization is important, not just for games from the Japanese coming to the West, but also vice versa sometimes. So does anyone else have any thoughts on the support for localization on something like this?
I think you explained it very well. I'm not even gonna man,
trying to get drunk.
I respect that, Bloody Knuckles. I respect that. You the eloquent
Bloody, talk about that on the Smash podcast tomorrow.
Why you gotta be loud? Excuse me, I'm just trying to respect the man on what he's saying, and you still talking over me, 100. What's up?
Ooh, there's gonna be a cutting tonight.
Thank you, lady.
I'm telling myself to shut the hell up, so I'm gonna shut the hell up.
So shut the hell up. Okay, so Chuck, is there any in Japanese games that you would be interested to get this type of
I mean,
or that you like, that you think that could be helped by this localization?
I mean, honestly, yeah, but I'm still on that frenzy of now they seeing the games like Monster Hunter. See games like that when they seeing the success of games like that. I mean, everybody know Final Fantasy, but the JRPGs, I'm not too big of a fan of. But when they do a lot of
sales,
yeah. But I mean, it's good because I'm more like of a person that want to see like more like One Punch and like the Sekiro type games that coming from Japan. A lot of people don't get those enough recognition, but once they start coming over to like Xbox, because matter of fact, people don't know, like Jump Force is gonna have a lot of first time characters that's gonna be coming on the Xbox. So it's gonna be it's gonna be a pretty cool thing, because once they start seeing success in a game like that, that's gonna be the one that's gonna break records. And when they break records, that's gonna have them say, okay, I think the West is more feasible, so they gonna come because it's money, even if they just do it digital. I mean, they
got characters from Bleach and Jump Force, man. Shit,
right?
I saw Ichiro. I was like, what? You got Ichiro on my? That's my dude.
Yeah, that's look. The only thing I care about that they got in there was when they announced Saint Seiya, because I'm the only one.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Y'all can say that for y'all show y'all do talking about anime and whatnot, man. We gotta wrap this thing up.
Okay, all right.
You're right.
So
No, but it all taps into localization, though.
I get it. I get it. But y'all bloody gonna go on his encyclopedia, Red.
No, I did not.
It's all good. We respect certain characters.
I talked that whole topic in 3 minutes or less.
Okay, but fuck, is there anybody else that wants to touch in on this except for Bloody? Stop, be quiet, Bloody. Is there anybody else that wants to talk? Delilah, don't say anything because you don't care.
No, we don't want to talk about it. Twitter fingers covered it.
Yes, I do.
Delilah wanted to touch it. Talk about it.
All right, dude. I would love for them to do more localization like the way they're doing with Sega in order to bring a lot of these Japanese titles over. For example, on the PlayStation, you got Berserk, all right, and the Band of the Hawk. I just recently bought that game. I would have loved to have had that game on Xbox. All right, it's a title that's actually pretty good. It's pretty awesome.
Xbox though. That's my question.
$60 though is a little bit too expensive for Berserk in my opinion. But go ahead,
dude. I bought it on the sale. It was $35.99.
Oh, okay. All right, that's cool.
But still, it's one of those types of games that I like. It's basically using the Dynasty Warriors formula, and I would also love to have this game. What is it? 7 Deadly Sins by Bandai Namco. It is on PlayStation 4, but. What's up with the Xbox, man? Don't they get a little love as well, man? Come on.
That's an issue with Bandai.
Well, Phil is
definitely.
out there in Japan. Phil went out there to Japan and was talking things. Hopefully, there'll be some more Japanese games showed at E3. I mean, at XO. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, man. And like the reason I want them to bring it over to Xbox because I want to see them use the power of the X.
Yes,
the power of the X. Know what I'm saying? I want to see that.
Y'all saying people want these Japanese games, but Xbox motherfuckers don't buy them.
Yeah. Look,
they can't buy what they don't have.
Yeah, I know. I do. They do. It's a whole lot of Xbox games. It's a whole lot of Japanese games on the Xbox.
Didn't they drive back?
They don't buy them.
Yes, they did. They bought Dragon Ball.
They bought Dragon Ball Z because Dragon Ball is like a name brand. How many games? That's on Xbox right now? It's a lot of Japanese games. Nobody's buying them, and we're not putting it on the list.
They can't buy.
Ain't a lot of Japanese games, man. It's
the game doesn't come
on. Matter of fact, Xbox came out with a Japanese game today. They showed on their channel. That's a Japanese game.
If the game
it might be a multi-plat.
Japanese, American. If the game's mediocre, it's mediocre.
Oh, wait a minute. You talking about my hero?
Yeah, I'm like, come on. They don't buy them.
They don't got them to buy.
No, but My Hero actually looks pretty cool.
I got an online Japanese game now. I can't pronounce it because it's in Japanese. I got to have Google.
100.
I may have to have Google to do it. Kaleidoscope know what I'm talking about.
100.
It's an online RPG game.
Somebody cut the man mic.
We got to wrap it up.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
We gonna wrap it up.
Man, y'all just in love with y'all love anime and Japanese, but think about it, the West. Everybody in the West don't.
I love my Halo Gears of Fortune. I love my Japanese games.
Man, you win. Yeah.
Hey, Chief, can we wrap it up?
We're about to wrap it up right now. All right, so I'm going straight to you, Infamous. Where can they find you at? And go ahead and solicit yourself one more time so people can get
Thanks for everybody that stopped by. Thanks for my deep ass panel tonight.
We got through it.
Somehow. Everything Lady Infamous, you can go on Lady_Infamous30 on Twitter. I will be on Grown Women Gaming every Saturdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have a special announcement tomorrow, so you guys come through. Next week we'll have footage from TwitchCon 2018 from San Jose, California. And if y'all want to give me that Black Ops 4, just put Lady Space Infamous 30 all in one word on Xbox, and that's my birthday wish. So everybody, thank you for stopping by. Much love.
That's what I'm talking about. Solicit yourself. Go ahead. That's what I like. Delilah HD, Fiberwire. Where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter, Delilah_HD. Also on Grown Women Gaming on Saturdays, noon at 9 Pacific, 9 a.m. Pacific. But yeah, we definitely gonna have our show tomorrow. So please stop through. Just search Grown Woman Gaming on YouTube or search on Twitter hashtag Grown Woman Gaming. You'll find us. But yeah, we're looking forward to you guys checking us out.
Yeah, no doubt. And then we move it on to Bloody Knuckles. Where can they find you at, Bloody Knuckles? Except on some anime porn. Go ahead.
Hey, whoa. You leave me alone. I don't judge you for your porn. You don't judge me for mine.
Hey, you like business out there like that.
You're right.
I am a dignified gentleman.
Good shot, Bloody.
You're doing a great job. Where can they find you at, man? That's my boy right there.
They can find me on Twitter, on Facebook, on Mixer.com, and YouTube.com/Bloody Knuckles. The O is a 0, the E is a 3, and of course it ends in a Z. And they definitely want to tune in tomorrow because on the Smash we're gonna go over some controversy within the anime industry. And now we got this.
What controversy? What controversy?
You're gonna want to find out because it's pretty messed up.
That's nice. I like that. Look at that promotion. That boy learning. I like that. Go ahead.
And of course, now you're going to hear all of us talk about the bullshit right now with Luke Cage because we were talking about it last week with the cancellation of Iron Fist. So now you know we're going to tear something up today.
Yes. All right. Triple Cup Chop. Where can they find you at, my brother?
Yeah, I'm in here. Man, hey, say Bloody. Man, hey, by us being who we are in Kaleidoscope. I mean, I know everybody not no anime person, and even Lemon if he's still in here. I know that one thing everybody must know: when Iron Fist got canceled, y'all seen Disney and y'all seen the success that Iron Fist 2 was making. That y'all knew that a Heroes for Hire was coming and Misty Knight was gonna do it, and Kanye Wang or whatever. I bet
Colleen Wing doing Daughters of the Dragon.
Bam. And see, there you go right there. And I called it last week and I called it the week before. I am Notre Dame. Check me out, Triple Cup Chuck. If y'all want to know the future, come find me.
Chuck, had I not been saying
tomorrow
we're going months back though. Remember, I was saying that for months.
See, what we don't realize most of these cancellations are because of Disney. So
exactly. And that's why we're going to go into it tomorrow.
All right. So Triple Cup is Nostradamus.
I'm Nostradamus. I'm Nostradamus.
Nostradamus.
Not Nostradamus.
No.
You talking about my nose? What you talking about? Right?
Notre Dame. I'm Nostradamus. That's
Nostradamus.
I'm going in for Bloody Knuckles. We're going early too. I'm
1:30 p.m. Central, baby.
All right. Good. Y'all over here, so y'all soliciting y'all's asses too. Anyway, Live Wire. Woo! Yeah. Live Wire. Where can they find you at, man?
You can find me on my channel, putting up shit every once in a while.
Live Wire's been quiet.
Well,
it's about to get heated here pretty soon.
It must be bigger where he at now. That's what that is.
Well, you know what it was? I was trying to finish up some work, man. My daughter had me busy. So when I get a little free time, I'll be on the podcast. Normally I'd be playing games, but I had time. I was working on trying to finish this flyer and fucking doing some shit on this website. So that's why I working
on your backstroke.
Huh? Nah. I ain't had time to do that, man. I be trying, the wife be like, "Yo, what's good?" I'd be like, "Look, I got to pay these goddamn bills." You know what I mean?
Okay, all right, okay.
That still didn't tell us where we can find you.
Where can we find you? Yeah, while you just talking
in my goddamn bed. That's where you can find me.
In the water.
Like a young demon seed.
Yeah.
Nigga find me sleeping.
Yeah,
you'll see us swimming around the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Check out my movie coming out sometime in the
aquatic.
Was it Christmas?
Aquatic Live
in Christmas.
Yeah,
I got to get back in shape so I look like that again. Because right now, I got the
Aquaman.
What is that called?
Aquaman, right?
The dad baby bod, whatever game.
Wow.
It'll be Aqua Live.
Live Aqua, whatever.
I gotta get back in my pool, swimming shape.
Okay. Kaleidoscope. Where can they find you at?
Yo, y'all can find me at Kaleidoscope Mars on PlayStation, Kaleidoscope on the Xbox One, and at DirectX Finest on Twitter.
PlayStation fans, he's ready for that Sony pair package. So get ready.
Well, I got mostly everything already, man. So
hey, I'm still waiting on my Persona 5.
Cheap.
I'm just saying.
No, I still don't have that though. So y'all can send me Persona 5 my way if y'all want. It's Kaleidoscope Mars.
A lot of more
or tentacle ship. Just saying.
Okay, it's just everybody's been telling me about that penis demon, so I still haven't copied it yet. So.
You gotta whisper it every time you say it. Penis demon.
It's a demon seed that you're gonna have to watch out for. Then
you know the crazy thing, Kaleidoscope. You're gonna be waiting. You're gonna be looking for it. You be like, yeah, I know it's gonna pop out at me sometime. And then when you see it, you're still not gonna go. You're still not gonna be prepared for it. You be like,
crazy, man. Oh my god! All right, so all right, find my man Kaleidoscope, and then that's still 2 more. Okay, then there's 108 Dragons. Where can they find you at, bro?
You can find me at 108 Dragons TV on everything, or you can find me on deftone.com because goddamn 100 them pop my eardrum shit crazy.
Shit.
Goddamn yelling. Yeah, find me at Deftone Bastards R Us.
Wow, I thought y'all were joking. I had to look this up, man.
His name is Monroe. Yeah.
Wait, Delilah, we've been talking about the penis demon for months, and you just now looked it up.
Radio talking about him.
Out of them saying this. I'm getting like every time you say it, I get frustrated. I'm like, why they gotta keep saying this? So I'm like, man, let me see what they're talking about. I look it up, and sure enough,
I told you his name is like Monroe or some shit like that. Yeah, and he's
mad at that.
I'm hurt right now, and when I come back, I'll
stop it.
That's what he says. Stop it. It's a trip.
Look, I'm done. Okay, I'm done.
Oily and shit, like it's a green penis demon.
I am done. I am so done.
Where can they find that?
I am like shocked right now.
Oh no, we just ruined her eyes.
I know, right?
Where can they find you at? Where can they find you at? 108. 108's done.
Dove.com. Thanks, 100. Thank you.
Last but not least, 100. Where can they find you at?
Xbox Live right now playing things. They search for me every day. So
what did you just say?
I'm on Xbox.
Man that's lost somewhere.
I'm tired, damn it. Now you want to go 5 million hours of podcast. I'm trying to play this damn game.
I don't want
no 100. We need to do the gaming night to the round table tomorrow.
Hit that dislike button.
Listen,
do me a favor.
Don't buy 108 no games. I need a hearing aid. This shit crazy.
All right, y'all. Thank you for
you clear your ears out.
All right, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. I know you can
fucking mic.
Hey, that's
he got his mouth on the damn mic.
I ain't got my mic. Just because I got a high contemporary mic. That's all I ain't got.
One more thing, and then I'm
looking on the microphone.
Shit out that mic.
I ain't nowhere near the mic. That's the thing about it. The mic is on my headset.
On the microphone.
On my head.
You sound like you really.
You know what? You know what? I love all y'all. You know what? I love all y'all. And then when y'all get on Xbox 5, you know what I'm gonna say to all of y'all.
Let's go to the shout out, please. Can I get the hell out of here? Can I go?
You ain't got shit else to do.
I got Soul Calibur to play. Anyway,
we going next. I want to get back to my Odyssey, man. Come on.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us as always. Always dealing with people that wants to be on the take all damn day to do outros. That's the problem with black folks today. They all want to be regular. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right, though. We managed it the best way we could. Trust me. Anyway, so next week, Red Dead Redemption. Gonna get it. Hey, big shout out to you, Primal Data, for getting Soul Calibur 6. It's already in there.
I don't even know if he won it. Did he know he won it?
Yeah, he knows.
Okay.
All you got to do is look at his messages. You'll see the game is already there in his inbox, ready to go. So Anyway, come on in, join us, and we'll be definitely live streaming it tomorrow. We'll have GRG Fight Night tomorrow night, so it's going to be a blast because there's going to be a lot of shit talking. So anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. And remember, it's Friday night. There's only 3 things that you could do. If you got to go to work tomorrow, take your ass to bed. If you up, then you can go ahead and play the game. But if all else things fails, then you know what you can call on to. You better be doing that pants off, dance off. Anything else, you're a fraud. Bring her that penis, demon. We out. Peace.